Shaka beat the Dulcimere, then beat the JP that got sent down to the loser's bracket. And it's, like I said, I feel like Dulcim's offense might be a little more potent than JP's. And so it'll be interesting to see how this goes.
Yeah, it is a fun matchup between the two characters. They just both have these funky space control and movement options. They both have great pressure. JP's got better wake up. This may be the big difference between them two in terms of their which options they have.
Right.
You know? Also,
combo damage too, I feel like.
He's got more consistent combo damage, definitely, does JP. But yeah, it's a fun one. You know, they're both, neither one is able to play as they normally can versus like regular grounded characters who don't have other full screen options. But I'm sure that there's a lot of experience between the two players.
Yeah, I mean, one of the advantages that Dulcim's going to always have in this fight is that doesn't need to plant a portal to teleport first.
Yeah, right.
He's just going to teleport at any time he wants. So if he predicts a ground spike and teleports, he can definitely blow that up a lot easier than other characters can from a full screen kind of situation. But again, the hardest part right now is regardless of how the matchup goes, Shaka has to win 2 sets of 3 out of 5 because you can't be eliminated unless you're in loser's bracket. And because Dookie is in winner's because he's in winner's bracket,
he only needs to win one.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry.
There it
He ruined my dialogue
The
here.
little head.
Oh my
That's
god,
great.
it's so great. I love it. Oh man. Ooh. Yeah, like I said, he did really well against against the previous JP. Starting off so far, really, really nice here. Checking the drive impact. There it is, covering the space. That is jumping heavy kick, like you said.
That's not the spot. It is, in my opinion, really hard to find the exact right spot for drill in this game.
Can you imagine if JP's portals actually auto-corrected to go upwards too? Because they already auto-correct left, right, dude. It's like, come on.
Dookie very patient.
Ooh. Oh, he tried to anti-air, but he didn't get it.
That is a really hard jump into anti-air.
Yeah. And like I said, just floating right above that portal.
Yeah.
Not worried about the spike at all. And in this is a matchup where Dulcim's sick movement. That was so good.
He knew it.
Yeah. I was just about to say, too, this is a matchup where Dulcim's floaty jump is actually a huge advantage for him. Because he could just stay over, you know, portal spikes and ground spikes and... Oh, great dodge. And again, every time you block that ground spike from the screen away, he has to guess whether he goes for a close spike or a full screen spike.
Yep.
That's the mix-up right there that you have to play against him. Oh, the range!
This gets some pressure. Yes, at least a little bit. Link.
Bending a bar here, maybe trying to go slowly towards a burnout here. Oh, and built back a lot by drive parrying 3 attacks in 1 parry. But yeah, Shaka having a hard time getting in on Dookie right now.
Again, great jumping.
Yeah. Oh, made it over the jump heavy kick, but gonna go straight into the level 3. Wow. Shaka not even considering keeping it for the 3rd round. He wants this round right here, right now.
If he had canceled there, he would have been burned out. Instead, he wanted pressure. The movement's so important here. One more hit will do it. Dookie knows that. He backs off.
Oh, he's just going to be able to float over that.
Or Dookie knew he could get pressure. The overhead connects, and the round will be his.
I mean, that's the thing is if you're Shaka, you're like, I'll just take getting hit by the jump strong. No problem. I got away from that whole level 2 mix-up. But then he just wasn't expecting the drive rush overhead.
Yeah.
But now Shaka, as you can see here, down to 1 meter for supers here because he spent that level 3 last one. Almost made it work. Oh, here's that reset again.
Dookie out. Back to mid-screen.
Ooh.
Connects. Not into a lot, but into potential pressure.
No reaction.
Look, it's almost burnout.
Dude, that jumping medium punch right now from Dookie has been changing this fight a lot.
Fighting back from burnout. Shaka still maybe in trouble for that. That was the spot, yeah.
He
Dookie
landed
knew
on the
not to
fireball.
challenge.
Oh, he tried to anti-air again. Not gonna happen, and now you are. Oh, you
That'll be
just got hit. Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah, you can see him wait. He waited a little bit to do the EX spike. It wasn't as instant as it could have been, and I think that might have caught Shaka off guard. Oftentimes when you're waking up versus JP, you can sort of opt to select like a back and then up, right, in case he does like a truly meaty spike. But didn't seem like the case there.
Ooh, didn't get the drive rush combo there. Yeah, you see he's scared of anti-air now. It's twice that he hasn't been able to get it.
Yeah. You know, Dookie's patience in some of these moments, I think, is really impressive, too. You could see that the way that Dawson plays and the way that Shaka plays Dawson, some of JP's stuff just doesn't really work in the same way that it does in other matchups. And so instead, you have to spend a lot of time just kind of hunting for the right moment, being patient. Not to say that you can't move forward. You have to be doing things, but it's not really the same as usual.
Yeah, but honestly, the way Dookie adjusted in the last game was really, really nice. A lot more patient, a lot more jumping strongs, sniped Dawson out of the air. Was playing really well. See, there it is again. And then just drive run. Dude, the way JP is just like... I mean, he should have had a laugh as he was coming at you like that. And again, that jumping strong, I feel like, has changed the fight drastically. It has cut off that aerial option from Shaka completely. And now Dookie, who looked absolutely human in that first game, who looked vulnerable, looks like he's poised to be able to get to tournament game just like this if he can take one more round.
Maybe a chance for pressure here from... Oh, he faked it to try to burn Dookie out with his own drive carry. So, okay, if you need some time, a great solution is as JP just to bring out your level 2.
Oh, there we go. Gets the burnout. Oh, nice. Okay.
Any setup he wants. Okay, he's going to save level 2. But again, he can be really mean in the corner. See if he can actually get it going. No, it's already gone.
Slowly building up his meter again as well.
Oh, there wasn't the burnout anymore.
Teleport, fake teleport right there. Stayed on the back portal. Nice jab check. Gets Shaka out of the air.
Again, look at the patience from Dookie. He has waited. He's waited for a teleport, and that served him very well as he goes up 2-0.
Yeah, Shaka, you can see, felt the need to be aggressive in those situations, and Dookie just kind of said, you know what? You're getting pressured by the idea of what I can do. So all I have to do is wait, watch you teleport, and jab you out of the air every single time.
I think that was the first actual jump-in that we've seen from Dookie, just like from the ground, regular jump-in. And it came in game 3. Challenge is there. And Dookie continues to, other than that first jump-in, really wait out Shaka through a lot of this.
Oh, what? Oh, perfect parry from a full screen away. Oh, that's how you know right now Dookie is in Shaka's head right now. Yeah,
those are all perfect parries.
That's crazy.
I know. Those are all perfect. Come on.
Oh, what a decision to come out with the EX Ghost all of a sudden. He saw that Shaka was trying to inch forward. The jump strong, the rush overhead, everything is working for him perfectly. Tournament point for Dookie. Can Shaka turn this around? Is this possible?
The mid-range game hasn't really been that great for him. He hasn't gotten that much out of it, and he hasn't been able to turn very much into pressure either. At least not damaging pressure. Dookie's really weathered a lot of storms.
That EX again. The OD, I should say. Again, parrying to kind of nullify the effectiveness of these pressure strings. That was a counter hit on the drill, which is why he had the plus frames on landing.
But after that, you know, Dookie, again, did a great job at just kind of waiting it out. He had the parry on reaction.
Yeah, his defense has been great.
Yeah.
But he's down a lot of health right now. And in fact, if I'm Dookie, you probably just kind of chalk this round up to a loss at this point.
Oh, maybe not now. If he gets one more thing for Shaka to block, it could be burnout.
Right. And
so he's really alive.
And then a level 3 right there. So if he gets one good hit, and the next combo into a level 3 will win. All right. He can die now.
And these can be hit confirmed too, by the way. If you're a genius, you can hit confirm those spikes into 3.
Yeah, he can die right now. Just any hit into level
And
3.
Shaka knows that. You can see the way he's playing. He is not trying to take big risks.
Yeah.
He wants to do one more thing. He's in!
Oh my god, that was a trade after.
Look at the time now. That would have been buffered into level 3. Absolutely. Whiff punish is there for Shaka.
Oh boy.
So he manages to stay alive.
I didn't even know what happened there with that whip punish. I just saw a KO and I was like, who died? Who died? Oh my god. Oh, yep.
Great hit confirmed.
Here we go. Oh, is this it here? Is this time, Shaka's time now for the comeback?
He's really trying to make it happen. The offense spending a lot of bars on it.
Grab.
Okay. And again, you take a risk by grabbing him when he's in the corner.
Yep.
The read. Look at this corner control. Shaka burns his opponent out. Level 3. It's one of the
blocked in time.
It's one of the slowest level 3s in the game. That is there. A lot of characters get full on whatever button they want as safe meaty or safe jump in, and that's exactly what we saw. Very slow startup, and shoutouts to Shaka for knowing exactly that.
Okay, so Shaka, again, every journey you take starts with the first few steps here, and he was down as far back as you can possibly be. Won 2 rounds in a row in that game number 3. Let's see if he can keep this up and get it to 2-2. Oh, nice.
Man, they both are almost burned out. There it is. Shaka immediately takes advantage.
Away. Yeah, here we go. The standard setup.
And he can set it up again into real mean stuff. Level 1's there at least to think about. No, missed it.
Dude, he is just, I can't believe Dookie wake up with buttons. And it worked because Shaka mistimed his meaty.
Oh man, what if he said moo? That would be great. That would be great.
Oh, check with the cane. Oh, covered in time.
Whip punish!
Yeah.
It's only a medium kick.
Yeah. He's still, okay, never mind. There it is, standing medium punch. And look at this. Look at this. And this, if you're Dookie right now, can you have the mental fortitude to just brush off this comeback? You know what I mean? This is where the nerves start kicking in. You're like, oh my gosh, I thought I was in Capcom Cup. I was right there.
Look, he did it before. He did it last year.
Yeah.
He won this event and made Capcom Cup.
Yep.
Shaka is looking really good at the moment.
Oh, he's going to get hit. Oh, he was able to recover time.
Okay. So Dookie, just like that, turns it around.
Oh,
Shaka
good.
just waited it out.
Yeah.
Sure, throw me. Absolutely.
Oh, wait. Did that hit? That's going to kill?
Yeah, this is second game for Shaka, tying it up 2 games to 2. From the brink of death, it looked like it was all Dookie. And in those last 2 games, Shaka has looked really good. I mean, he's got to win 2 sets. It's not over, even in this set.
Right,
so there's a lot of work still yet to be done for him. And on Dookie's side, I don't know that I think he's playing poorly. I think that it's more like Shaka's had some great moments, some great expectations of what he's going to do, because Dookie's game has been very similar.
Yeah.
Okay,
nice. Okay, and actually getting the drive parries to get the extra damage on the throw. Great round here for Dookie.
Spike down strong.
Spike kept going. Oh man.
Dalsum hitting things with his own limbs behind the opponent for 30 years.
Oh, the jump in. Here we go. Dookie with a very strong round. He can take it. Shaka needs to win 2 to reset the bracket. But Dookie just needs to win. What a teleport!
They're both changing things up, and he knew it. Shaka will get some damage.
Oh, we're gonna get a classic game 5 where first round.
Oh!
Fireball was
Oh man, that could have been linked out. That would have been too sick.
That would have been so gross.
Juggle. Still get it.
Oh,
he
he's got
responds.
the reaction. And can he build the level 3 off of this? He has the level 3. He's gonna go for the level 2 here. So is he going for a reset here, setup? No, he's just.
He did.
He did.
It was
He
low,
got it.
and he's gonna take it, Dookie.
Welcome to another episode of the official Capcom Pro Tour pre-show, No Neutral. I am Big Durag Hollywood, Rob TV, and I am here with the one and the only, the uber famous. Can't walk nowhere at a tournament without taking 500 pictures. It's quite annoying, to be honest with you. The biggest content creator in the game, my man's Brian F. What's going on with you, dog?
How many lies are going to fit into one intro? It's honestly impressive at this point. But for that said, at least you weren't commenting on my shirt at this point. Every time I join the call,
why are you?
I like my.
Bro.
It's flattering. What can I say?
Bro,
I know you.
So what color do you consider that? Because I would say it's nude. You're a grown man, and you went to the store and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna get the nude." Did you ask the lady at the front, like, "Hey, where's your nude?"
I said I want to make sure everyone thinks I'm shirtless every time I show up on camera. Yes, that's
okay.
exactly what I said.
Well,
but there's more important things to talk about, Rob. Listen, stop trying to imagine me shirtless here. We got to talk about one of the most significant sets in Street Fighter 6 short but exciting history so far. Okay, we had to talk about it. We're talking about Snake Eyes qualifying for Capcom Cup out of the US West CPT event. And it wasn't just that he qualified using Zangief. It was that he qualified using Zangief in the face of great adversity, right? He was going up against Reynolds in both winners finals and grand finals, rocking the villain of the scene right now. I mean, I feel like there's no other way to put it, JP, right? So
yes.
On paper and in reality, definitely a bad matchup for Zangief. It was a classic Zoner versus Grappler battle. And somehow, Snake Eyes pulled off a victory, but that's what we're here to break down. I think one thing about Street Fighter 6's design, which helps in a lot of these sort of like unfavorable matchups, is that there's a lot of universal defensive mechanics that still mean that if you have the reads and you understand the player and understand how to approach a matchup, you can still make the unlikely possible, right? We have parry, we have other defensive mechanics, but really, when you look at how Snake Eyes won this set, he didn't use too many of those mechanics besides in a few sparing moments. It was good old-fashioned walk and block.
Oh my God, there's so much. Yes, bro.
Reynolds put Snake Eyes in losers and winners finals 3-0. I mean, it was pretty much typical of what we expected. Snake Eyes was getting rounds there, but that was kind of what people were predicting when you see on paper JP versus Zangief. Like, Snake Eyes got around a couple of games, but it's just he had to get in so many more times than JP has to do it all, because JP can just keep him out the entire time, right? So once he gets in, can he stay in? It's not likely, right? But this time, that very first game, just observe the way Snake Eyes bulldogs his way in. Reynolds likes to throw out the certain OD portal to control the screen. Reynolds would always do the light and the heavy version, which put one really far close to the opponent, one really close, so kind of had that gap in the middle. And then Snake Eyes kept recognizing that situation, and he would just walk forward, block a projectile, walk forward, block a projectile. And every time he did that, he would push that portal off screen. And once you stretch the screen and make the portal go off screen, it goes away, right? And then suddenly he has more freedom to move because there's no looming threat of the spike coming from above.
That is
so
fire.
Reynolds kept doing that, spending his drive meter to do that, and Snake Eyes was recognizing that. I was like, wait, if I find these pixels to move forward, I will move forward, move that off the screen, and then when I block the next projectile, it does like a tiny bit of drive meter. And that first game, he bulldogs Reynolds that style all the way to the corner, holds down back when he's finally got JP in the corner, and just waits for that jump out, and then instantly EX Lariat into the SPD comboed, because finally, once you get JP into that spot, he squirms like anybody else, man. There is the OD amnesia to potentially counter an SPD, but once you're in that spot where you're in SPD range and Zangief is just like, are you going to sit here and take the command grab, or are you going to jump? You're going to crack, right? And Snake Eyes was fighting for that position that whole game. And so he gets the first game in that set demonstrating that style, but it wasn't easy that first set because he goes down to almost losing the whole tournament. After winning that first game, he goes down 2 games, and Reynolds almost closed out and won the whole events. He was on match point twice.
Yeah, and then from that point, we know that Snake Eyes just went through and absolutely destroyed him. Didn't even lose another game from that point. We ended up going to reset the bracket at 1-3-0, but I want to make sure I point this out. When we say bulldogging, and I'm not even going to just explain the term, I just think that it's easy to underestimate the significance or undersell the significance of what we saw him do, because for him to walk, he's specifically choosing these. He has to read his opponent's timing. There's character matchup things to know, but it's especially a player thing for him to know exactly when he can walk, for him to know exactly when he can jump in, for him to not be just push back from his opponent. For him to whiff punish. He found those perfect moments to inch forward. So I promise you guys, that is what we've seen from Snake Eyes. He has some of the best neutral I've seen. That was one of the best performances that we ever seen in CPT Online. Easily.
Definitely. Yeah, and that walk and block is so important because, like you mentioned, he's reading the timing on the spikes, and there's set gaps too, right? Like, you have to understand the matchup. A lesser Zangief would probably just hold down back and be like, I can't do anything, right? Spike, spike, projectile, projectile. But there's gaps between them, and those pixels that you move forward, they add up, right? Like, you know, every inch counts in this approach that you take. And then once he gets into that range, I do think Zangief's buttons are kind of good in that range. Like, one thing about the Zangief sweep, which he relied on, is a really good whiff punish. First of all, if he gets the sweep, he gets to apply a mix, right? That's huge for Zangief. But also, like, if you fish for that, the best punish JP gets at, like, max range is just stand medium punch. And Snake Eyes knows, like, that's nothing. Like, I reached out to him for comment on this, and he mentioned, like, yeah, like, a big part of what I can do is I can use my health as a resource to bulldog my way in, right? If I get, like, nicked with a poke that doesn't convert into a full knockdown and screen carry, like, because JP, if he gets, like, the stand fierce punch, combos like the EX fireball into the spike, that's bad because, you know, you reset the whole situation. You're back to playing Super Mario from full screen, right? That's bad. But if you're eating something like the stand medium punch, that annoying cane whip where he reaches far forward, that's just a little bit of damage. That tickles Zangief. It doesn't cause this knockdown and reset the situation. He can afford to eat those. So if he can bulldog his way in, find those sweeps, and then you get the momentum, he can risk doing something like a sweep on block at that kind of range, right? Even if he's not just whiff punishing, which he did do. He also did whiff punishing, but he can also risk those buttons as well because the reward is so worth it in that instance.
All this character matchup, the stuff that Brian is pointing out is, even if your character loses a matchup overall, there are pockets, there's places where your character wins. And the better of a player you are, you can make the matchup go to those spots on the screen more consistently and take advantage of that. So that's not downplay or anything like that. We believe that JP,
I find it's kind of ridiculous that explaining a matchup, you have to clarify that I'm not downplaying. But I thank you for taking the heat off me in this moment, so that we can go back to using our brains and trying to break down how to win in Street Fighter. But that said, that I reached out to Snake Eyes, like I said, for comment, and it's funny you mentioned that because he said in the first set, winners finals, where he got 3-0'd, it was kind of a wash. Like, some games were competitive, but other ones were just clean out, zoning from JP, keeping Zangief out. He said that he was trying to focus on Reynolds' habits in that set a lot more, but then when it came to grand finals, he said, forget Reynolds' style. I'm just going to focus on what I know about the matchup. He went straight back to look. Snake Eyes is a grinder. Like, we talked about Snake Eyes being a god. How did he get to that way? He puts in the hours. This guy has been gaming so much since he's been a competitive fighting game player. He streams nonstop. He puts in the work. He knows all the nuances. He knows these matchups. JP, they're out there and ranked, and Snake Eyes is grinding, running into them, and figuring out how to approach. So he said, screw trying to play specifically against Reynolds. He tried to just play the matchup in that sense, and then that's where he found a lot more success. I think it wasn't just the matchup. I think he was playing the matchup very well, but we still saw him going down 2-1 in that set. Reynolds was on match point twice, and there was a couple circumstances where he could have potentially converted to level 3 and won the whole tournament, been in Capcom Cup.
I'm glad that you bring that up.
He didn't find those moments.
That's a choke.
I think when Grand Final started, I think Snake Eyes showed his strategy, and I don't think it changed as the set progressed. What I think is that Reynolds was not handling the pressure as it built up, right? So he was up 2-1. I think that entire time, even as Reynolds was winning games, Snake Eyes was still... It's like that monster movie, the slow monster approaching. You see it on the horizon, and no matter how far away you run, you look back, it's still approaching. Like, he was just always inching closer game after game after game. And when he didn't get that moment to close out, Snake Eyes wins 4 games straight to win the whole tournament. So Reynolds' credit, like, another factor with this is, yeah, JP definitely beat Zangief, but who are you practicing the Zangief matchup with to be ready for this moment?
And Brian, who are you playing the Zangief matchup with to be placing him on a tier list? I'm glad you used that sentence because that's my whole point. If you have not, I'm telling you, as somebody who plays Danny fan, bro, I promise you, dog. Like, you do not play against any good Zangiefs. How y'all all putting him in this trash tier and you don't play you don't play one Zangief. You don't know good Zangiefs. If you have not played, I'm gonna assume Brutus is godlike. I have not played him, but from what I know that Danny fam is, when we see him at Evo, he's godlike. You're not gonna play Danny Fam and think that the character is trash. I promise you that.
Right.
So
you're not gonna play Snake Eyes and think the character is trash. The character, I mean, like I said, it's a modern Street Fighter. I would still argue that Zangief has more bad matchups than most characters. Absolutely.
That's fair.
But you can overcome those matchups by being the better player for sure. Like, players like Snake Eyes, they find a way to get it done because Snake Eyes he has fused with the Zangief in his cerebrum at this point. It's just part of his DNA at this point. And if you get to that level by spending years dedicating to the character, you can make the impossible possible, right? And I don't even want to call it impossible. I'm using that for dramatic effect. Right? If you practice enough and put in the thousands of hours that it takes to compete at this level, you can do it, right? So I think Snake Eyes is just showing that here, and that when you get to that level, you play, you start to see the game the Matrix style, right? You see the game for what it is. You don't just see like, oh, I'm being zoned out and impressed from full screen. Yes. You find every little advantage you can find, every inch of space you can cover, and you make it happen. And also, I think there's the player psychology part. I think Snake Eyes was just mentally stronger for this set, absolutely. And I think when you play an advantage character, like putting myself in Reynolds' position, once I lost after being up 2-1 and it was 2-2, I would be terrified. I would be a little bit scared the whole time. Like, okay, I'm doing okay. I'm keeping him out. I'm doing all right. I'm about to win, and then I don't. Oh, no. Am I about to lose? Is he about to reset the bracket? Am I about to lose the favorable matchup? Do I have to win a whole other set now to get into Capcom Cup? Is he figuring out my patterns? Is he getting in? Oh, wait, now he's in SPD range. Do I jump? You know what I mean? It just, the psychological pressure it exerts over time can be the difference maker. And I think the longer set format helps Snake Eyes mentally break down Reynolds. Like Snake Eyes was just consistent bulldozing his way through the zoning barrage, and Reynolds wasn't able to adapt in time.
Brian, I just want to point out, bro, I feel like before we even wrap this all up, your breakdown, I feel like we both just did it great. Like that was one of my favorite breakdowns that we did. But the way that you broke down some of the technical sides of that's one of my favorite breakdowns that I heard from you, bro. That was dope and interesting for me too.
Snake Eyes, whether he consciously knew it or not, I think deep down he knew he could win because he had the tools and the skills to do it, and he got the job done against the perceived odds. And we're always searching for solutions to all the problems. Even if you play a character like JP or Ken, you're still looking for solutions to problems. If these games were so easily solved, they would not be entertaining for us to play. The human mind craves problem solving and adversity, and that's what we look to. So we try to find solutions to these problems. But trust me, if it was that easy, it wouldn't be worth doing. So get in the lab, pick the character that you truly identify with, do your best, and try to win.
And that is exactly what these players are about to do, Brian. Conversations like this is what the FGC is all about, baby. I love this stuff, Brian. I'm telling you, right now we are about to get into top 16. We are about to see who is going to be able to make it to the finals day as they try to get a step closer to making it in to Capcom Cup. $2 million on the line. People's heartbeat gonna be sounding like Sasquatch feet. Who is going to be able to take it? We're about to see. Asia East, top 16. Let's get into it.
Time to work, time to work. When inhaled, coriamyrtin blocks the gamma-aminobutyric acid receptors in the central nervous system, causing spasmodic muscle contractions.
Master, it's a work of art! It's perfect!
What to do with you now? So, shall we put him out of his misery? Time for some experimentation. I bet poison would work wonders on you. I wouldn't move if I were you. Poison's on the menu. I'm finished with you. kicking in.
Street Fighter 6. He was obsessed, you see, with finding an appropriate vessel for this power.
Fight with all your heart!
We are supporting Capcom Cup 10 with a total prize pool of over $2 million.
It's showtime, baby! Guano takes it over Idol!
All right, you ready?
You don't want to miss it! Let him go! Look at the damage! Look at that damage!
Now's not the time for jokes.
Your two-time Capcom Cup champion! It's Meta RD!
Well. If Rob TV can wear do-rags during the pre-show, does that mean it's on the table for commentary? I'm just asking for tomorrow. But unfortunately, my hair does not benefit from riding on the ocean. Myself, Ringe, and Jake Ryan here in the building at the wee hours of the morning here on the West Coast. But it's all good because today we are covering the top 16 for Asia East for that CPT, baby.
It is such a beautiful morning and one of the strongest regions in the world, especially like in player history, and then coming into Street Fighter 6 as well. And there's a lot of familiar faces, not where you'd expect them to be, though. This top 16 has definitely been a barn burner, and I love what's going to unfold here today because everything that's on the line, it's a Capcom Pro Tour spot and a berth into top 8. So a lot to fight for, man.
Yeah, like you mentioned, incredible players from this region throughout Street Fighter and really fighting games history, right? So many different ones, and they've all really excelled in and accomplished. And as you mentioned, we've seen some familiar faces here from games past, but also some new legends in the building as well. Yugong, Uma have both made it here into the top 16, who I think are really making a name for themselves in Street Fighter 6. So it's going to be a good one. We're going to see some generations clash, which is always dope in fighting games.
Yeah, and the top 16, like we said, lots of old faces, new faces. But, you know, looking at it as well, it's the region has been so strong for years, right? Like when watching the tournament last year, and I remember I commentated in the wee hours of the night, I was just so impressed the entire time. So having these players return and show up in Street Fighter 6 and show that same consistency, but having the new faces is always a treat. I know that we had, my favorite player I've seen so far was Crown, and it was the Ryu journey, losing to JP. I know it feels bad, but he sure fought his heart out, and that new face was beautiful for me. And there's more that they're fighting for than just the Capcom Pro Tour space, right?
Oh, of course. We got our own little prizing set up here for this very tournament itself, right? We got the breakdown as follows. First place for that 2,500, second 1,200, third 8, and fourth 500, all respectively, being dealt out to that upper echelon of results. So in addition to that Capcom Cup spot, of course, and that shot at that first place milli, they're going to get some change in their pocket if they do well in this tournament on top of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of different skins you can buy with that. And with Aki on the horizon, we need to make sure that all those colors are purchased. She's looking good, and we're looking forward to it. Not going to be seeing her this weekend, but the upcoming CPTs, you're going to have her on your radar. So the prizing, you're going to want to get that money as well as that first place to secure the Capcom Pro Tour spot, as that's what we're all in contention. That's $2 million, over $2 million, and $1 million for first place. That's nothing to sneeze at. That is a life-changing amount of money, all right? And you want to pick a $1 million character, and we've seen a lot of $1 million characters qualify. Shout out to Snake Eyes. Zangief, $1 million character?
There you go.
Didn't have that on my bingo card.
You saw Nemo with his palm in his face on the YouTube thumbnail. He don't want to see that. He don't want to see that at Capcom Cup. Nobody wants to see that. In terms of the players, right? I think all the spectators, the viewers, are definitely going to get a kick out of seeing the Zangief at Capcom Cup, but that's always a dangerous man to be across the screen with. But I do want to get into the top 16 bracket if we can here momentarily, because yes, indeed, we got some heavy hitters in the building. Lashar, who I believe won the first World Warrior Korea event over NL in Grand Finals. So Lashar, also a very talented other fighting games, going to be bringing his talents to Street Fighter 6, going up against Korean Wrestling Man, who we are very familiar with as well. Hot Dog 29 in the building, Emperor, two staples of this scene. Chris Wong and Yoro, and I believe Yoro did defeat Xiaobao in the winner's bracket, if I'm not mistaken. And then to round it out, I'm so sad that we're going to have a break before that NL Uma match, because I am gearing to watch that one. As an ICFC Asia regular, Uma was a dominating factor throughout the season, won the entire thing. And of course, NL, I think, is thought of as maybe the strongest player historically of this region, right? So that's going to be a banger in winners. But talk me through losers, Jake.
Yeah, definitely the Cammy legend there on NL. And then we go to loser side. It's Sysak versus Yugang. Again, these are names that I haven't been able to see the most, and I'm really excited to see them in Street Fighter 6 because the style and gameplay, let's see how they transition it from Street Fighter 5 to Street Fighter 6 because the legacy skill is going to be really important, especially moving forward. And I did not expect both these names to be the first round of top 16 losers.
Yeah, man.
ZJZ versus Oil King, and Oil King in his respective winner side got sent to losers in a 2-1 set and then was able to bring it back 2-0, and that's never a good feeling, especially when you know you were that close to be in that top 16 winner side. Now you've got to work even harder, and you've only got one chance to really make it happen, and it's not often that from losers the winner makes it all the way, gets the grand finals reset, and does it. It does happen, but it is a rare occurrence. It's not rare for these other players to show up, though. Yunjabes and Fox Rain on the other side, on the bottom there, and then Sun Baby versus Serini is going to close out our top 16. So heavy hitters across the board. I think any of these players can realistically take it. But like you said, I think NL is the favorite, especially being in that winner side position.
Yeah, absolutely right. He's going to have the stats for him in regards to where he's starting out in the bracket today. But there's definitely people that have been murmuring, right? The word on the vine is Lashar and Uma are probably two of the people that are going to give him the most trouble. And Uma is that top 16 draw he's going to get in a 2 out of 3 setting. Not quite 3 out of 5 till tomorrow. But yeah, as you mentioned, Fox Rain, Sun Baby, and Serena, I want to highlight them towards the bottom of the losers bracket. Fox Rain was the other person that defeated Xiao Bao in the losers.
Wow.
Sun Baby defeated Gamer B twice. Actually
That's
ended
right.
up
No
double
Gamer
jeopardy.
B.
Yeah, double jeopardy Gamer B, and then Serini defeated RB. So yeah, I mean, these players that got here in the top 16, they didn't get here by chance, right? They put some bodies in bags to do it. So I'm glad to see them representing as well, but it's going to be a great day for Street Fighter.
Yeah, and that's, we're going to be getting started really shortly. And I mean, it's so surprising because I completely had, it went over my head, Gamer B not in the top 16. And I think every single person would have expected him to be there, especially with his storied history, 8 on and 4, really performing in 5 as well, and not having it come up for this first time in 6. Obviously, the World Warrior is still going to be there, so hope to see more Gamer B in that facet and thrive there, but not here today. And going into match A is going to be pretty exciting. Our first one to kick off the Asia East region here.
Oof.
Lashar versus Korea. It's Korean wrestling, man, and it is Chun versus Jury. And I love seeing this matchup because a lot of people have been sleeping on Chun. I think she's incredibly strong. Oppressive, yeah, that size says everything. Oppressive buttons across the board. Her anti-air is a little inconsistent from time to time, but the fact that anytime you throw a fireball and she has level 2, I can punish you full screen, that's terrifying. And Jury also, if she gets rolling, I don't know. Korean wrestling man might start grappling.
All I got to say about the Chun Down players is you're lucky that we have real sponsors for this stream. Or else I would let things fly that I otherwise I'm not going to. But yeah, on the other side, Korean wrestling man, he's traditionally more of a big body grappling kind of guy, as you mentioned, putting the paws on you. But Jury is one of those characters that is unrelenting, right? Suffocating style of pressure. I think that's what really appeals to him about the character.
Yeah.
But on the other end, Lashar, I mean, he is one of the best Chun-Lis in the building. Like I mentioned, if you're just joining us, he did, if I'm not mistaken, defeat NL in the first Korea World Warrior event in grand finals.
Yeah.
He took first place. Like, this man is no joke. He is a very, very legit player. One of the favorites to take the whole thing. But yeah, both of these players, characters, tremendous on the ground. Let's see how they play it.
Yeah, winners quarterfinal starting for our first match of Asia East, Lashar versus Korean wrestling man, and we are charging the Fuhas.
Indeed, it's important to get those stocks up, right? Allow the freedom of the routes, and man, that crouching medium kick, that is the logo low, way beyond the arc that goes.
It makes max range, and that's one of the strongest things about Jury as well, is the both sides hitting DP, but Lashar breaks out immediately with the OD up kicks, and we're stuck in the corner, and this is terrifying. Look at the drive gauge.
And remember, her DP don't do that in this game. The cross-up hitboxes for a lot of the DPs in this game got axed. Like, one of the only ones that does it is actually Rashid, so you have to cross-cut like a real professional if you're wrestling man here.
Yeah. Oh, the backdash gets caught, and now that's going to be a huge deficit on the drive gauge. Korean wrestling man has to find a way out, has the level 1 on deck, but you make one parry mistake and you're going to run out, and finally the bars are building back up.
Yeah, that's why Lashar is actually letting him out of the corner a little bit. I'm surprised he didn't keep up the pressure considering the low drive gauge, but yeah, the drive rush jab, baby. Always going to be one of those most successful things. Just tries to frame trap Lashar, but not biting. Baits out the super. Give me all that drive meter back up. Let's get it. It's going to be the first round to the Chun-Li.
Yeah, that was amazing too. Saved the meter, so now 2 bars to work with. Has the meter lead against Korean Wrestling Man, and that never feels good, but it feels good. You see the green stuff, you send the DP. You can almost react every time, and I think that's a pretty good investment.
Yeah, what comes after green on the street light? It's yellow, baby. You got to slow down. That's what Wrestling Man was looking for right there. He showed it to him. So that's what I want to see. But again, Lashar is very patient. You can see he really plays well to Chun-Li's strength, but every time the drive rushes come out, Wrestling Man putting that down.
And the thing I like too from Korean Wrestling Man, that was so smart. You lay the trap on the ground, they try to jump and utilize the drive rush, but it does not pay off for Korean Wrestling Man. You're going to be in burnout mid-screen. You're going to have to commit on defense, or Lashar is going to push you all the way to the other side of the screen. Exactly.
Right now he gets the life lead, as you mentioned, the burnout advantage as well. Wrestling Man's going to have to be really on point with the reversal level 1 if he wants to pop off.
I hate this sequence right here. Unlimited plus
you just
frames.
gotta hold this. When is the drive impact coming? You couldn't guess correctly. That means we go into a game 2.
That was perfect distancing as well, because Korean Wrestling Man didn't really have an indicator to how close he was to the corner. And you don't want to commit that level 1 so soon, especially when you don't think you're in imminent danger. And it was perfect spacing by Lashar. Great awareness. Great first game.
Yeah, sometimes it's real hard. Oh, the pickup. Okay. Yeah, at least tagged on a little bit of damage there. Lashar, though, comfortable at all ranges. Takes the block stun from the sweep and just walks up and throws. Got the loops going. No conversion off the light, but we still control the corner.
Finally goes for the throw tech there to escape, and Korean Wrestling Man is still holding that same exact space. Wonderful drive reversal. And now it looks like Korean Wrestling Man is the one in control, not willing to overextend, knowing that Lashar's reactions are nothing to slap.
Wow.
Right there.
Yeah, the double palm and reaction to the drive rush this time, Lashar, I'm telling you, bro. He utilizes so many of Chun-Li's tools so well.
Yeah, she has so many different stop signs, and Lashar is like, I'm going to rotate them. All right, red light, green light.
And precisely, man. Look, at not really overcommitting, not going for a lot of throws, just kind of chipping away at Wrestling Man's drive meter. Oh, yeah, and the conversions here. Got level 2 on deck, and you're going to use that when you burn yourself out, best believe.
Not enough, just short of the burnout. But again, Korean Wrestling Man can't take any more blocks, and now it's unlimited pressure. You're going to get chipped out. I don't think you can escape unless it's a miracle.
Okay.
Feng Shui is a way to start.
Yeah, he's got a real chance here. Feng Shui very deadly, especially with that burnout on Chun-Li's side. But yeah, you can't afford to block another fireball. That's exactly what happens. Korean Wrestling Man down. Not out just yet. Lashar on set point.
I feel like that was checkmate, too, for Korean Wrestling Man with the spacing. Because up kicks would have reached, even a slight walk forward from Lashar, and then like the medium kick, you would have got smoked. But Korean Wrestling Man still getting this corner position again, but never able to really close it out.
And maybe he could have stopped to nullify the fireball, right?
Yeah,
that was one of the only things. But thinking of that in that moment is so difficult.
Too much on your mind.
Yeah.
Oh, what a check. The punish counter confirmed, too.
Lashar waiting at the perfect range right there. That's taking advantage of Jury's over-aggressive style. That's what the Jury players like to do. They like to get down like that. Of course, the drive rush, jab, and the throw, very difficult to defend against.
Yeah, no matter how many times you check it, they're still going to go again and go back to the well because it is such a strong tool, and nobody's perfect.
Oh, no with punish that time. I like the attempt from Korean Wrestling Man. That stand fierce is very potent, but up against the crouch medium kick and the range of the hitbox of Chun-Li, it's very hard to counter poke.
Yeah, and I love this now. Holding Korean Wrestling Man in the corner, but the Feng Shui comes out again. You have to get the most out of it. The jab checks the jump, so you don't even get to start the pressure, and the huge counter it is going to be the end here. End with the level 3. A clean victory from Lashar. Korean Wrestling Man looked lost. And that's why, you know what, Chundown players? Just watch this. This is what you can do with the character.
Nah, this dude's ridiculous, man. Yeah, if you didn't know before, now you most definitely know. He's one of the favorites to take the entire tournament to qualify into Capcom Cup, and you saw a perfect example of why right there. Just controlled from start to finish against another potent character that can really hang with Chun-Li on the ground in certain aspects, but it didn't look like it with Lashar at the helm.
Yeah, and that, like, when you see a matchup, it's like, yeah, I consider that to be 5-5. That made me think differently. Like, Lashar made it look so simple because Jury got the game plan going every time. Like, push to the corner, let's start. I'm going to go for the throw loops. You have to deal with my dash and my strong normals, the standing heavy kick, standing medium kick, everything at her disposal. And Korean Wrestling Man did not feel comfortable going in because each and every time, you know, you get 1 or 2 throws, reversal comes out, and then everything was Lashar. So really love that Chun-Li performance. And it's honestly what I would expect from them, especially with the ICFC performance.
Yeah, 100%, man. So good stuff to Lashar. Going to be qualified into top 8 winner side, so he's made it to the promised land of 3 out of 5. We will be seeing him tomorrow. Of course, Korean wrestling man going to the second round of losers top 16. We'll see how he fares later. But next up, we have 2 staples of the scene, actually. Hot Dog 29 out of Hong Kong going up against Emperor out of Korea. 2 very strong players here. Going to be rocking some dangerous characters as well. We got the DJ for Hot Dog, Emperor on the Luke. I think he plays a little bit of Ken as well, if I'm not mistaken. So we shall see what he brings out today.
Yeah, I really like that too, because Luke and Ken have like very similar strengths, but in different ways. It's like I think of Luke as a wall and Ken as the unstoppable force, right? And Hot Dog, the honorary Puerto Rican, because he was hanging out with Mono for the longest time, he had a couple things to say about this set.
Plays the Islander too.
That's true. He definitely is playing the Islander, and I agree, man. Street Fighter 6 is hard. Very simple, yet very powerful statement. Shout outs to you, Hot Dog. I'm loving it. He's such a cool dude. I can't believe it. Like, on Island Time, my man's amazing, and I hope he's able to really shine with the DJ. So coming up, gonna be looking strong.
I like that quote a lot too, just because it gives like viewers that might not be too familiar with top player mindset some insight, right? Like even for them, even for one of the best in the business, they're like, bro, Street Fighter 6 is mad hard.
You're just sweating.
Yeah, so many things you have to consider, so many reactions that you have to be on top of. It's very, very tough to do so. So Hot Dog 29 gonna bring his talents today. We'll see who the better man is. This is the any given Sunday aspect of fighting games, though, right?
Absolutely.
Whoever is really on point on that given day is the one that's going to go the farthest.
Yeah, if you can tap in, that's what's going to matter most. And like you said, Street Fighter 6 is hard. Even the top players who have multiple like Capcom Cup qualifications are nervous. Like Travis Styles' first interview, he said, I have never been this nervous playing a set. And he played really well. And he qualified 2 years in a row.
Yeah, and I mean, like you mentioned, the Capcom Cup champions, the Evo champions, and the like. I believe on Reversal's documentary following Mena through, I believe, CEO, he was like, bro, when he was learning the game, he was like, this game is mad hard. I'm mad scared of different things. Like Drive Rush, I'm not used to reacting to it. And there's a lot of things that you have to get used to and hope that they become second nature, right? And usually they will over time as long as you keep putting the work in. But at the beginning, there's just so much to deal with and contend with that it's easy to let things slip through the cracks.
Yeah, and it feels like every day players are leveling up across the world, especially with the availability of information and how hard our players are training together, right? And the netcode's super good too. So East Coast is playing with DR, West Coast is playing with DR, West Coast playing with East Coast, Midwest playing with everybody, and we're not playing around anymore. Second match of the day, winners quarterfinals, Hot Dog and Emperor, seeing who's going to top 8 winner's side.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how this one plays out. Again, 2 very strong characters on the ground. This time, though, Hot Dog already bringing out the Just Cool shenanigans. It's a big reward, fam.
Dude, those shimmies are way too powerful. And oh, God,
no.
Speaking of shimmies,
he is biting on the throws right now. Does get a fortunate jump time on the Sobot kick, so he has the corner now.
Yeah, it's so hard, too. No way. The drop there is tragic, and that's the first round donated to Hot Dog.
Yeah, you can't drop against DJ, fam. The damage output on his character is no joke.
Lizzie was in the water too long. Emperor shouldn't have reached for it. Hot Dog's like, I told you so.
The hot dog water, you know what I mean?
Nice. Reversal out, Emperor not giving Hot Dog any more momentum, but it feels like Hot Dog can escape easily, and this is a common problem I see with a lot of Lukes. The drive gauge just evaporates.
Yeah. And he tried to go a gamble with the drive rush jab, right? It's so difficult to defend in that scenario a lot of time. But Hot Dog holding the up back. Emperor didn't have a frame trap to catch the jump frames, but now we got the level 2. Putting him close to Burnout here.
Yeah, just a pixel away, so if you hold a block string, you're going to be rough. And I love that. Takes the hit with the jump, and now it's your turn to be in the corner. In Burnout, tragic, but jumps and stops the drive impact from connecting. Not enough to kill, but you're in Burnout. You cannot take too many sandblasts, but he's also one touch away himself.
Yeah, in that instance, Hot Dog's, Hot Dog's commitment saved him at the beginning and then cost him at the end, right?
Yeah.
He committed to the jump early, he committed to the throw as soon as he landed, and then he committed to the drive impact on the air tech hit.
Yeah.
So, unfortunate, but you can see the pros and cons of certain play styles.
Yeah, and the payoff here, the caveat for Hot Dog is he's still got a full stick of butter, which means Emperor doesn't have a lot of situations to escape. He can hit twice, and then he falls apart, but the throws are coming in. Counter hit on the screen. Once again, Hot Dog does not want to take these throws.
He got the screen freeze from the drive rush and then the absorption on the hit. That was an easy reaction right back. He's got 3 levels. I imagine he spins it here. That means life support on Luke. He's going to be able to build back this drive meter as well. A great position for Hot Dog to get this first game.
Yeah, a little bit scary here too because Emperor still has a little drive gauge, has the level 2, so it's not out of the woods just yet. One good hit, and now it's pretty even Stevens. If we find that one touch, it's going to be a wrap, and we're playing it a little slower. 60 seconds on the clock. These have been lightning quick.
And Emperor, he spit the... Oh! He didn't spit it! Yeah, he could have spit that last bit of OD meter on the follow-up and would have killed.
Not like this.
Now he's in burnout. He gets the jump in. Hot Dog is in the driver's seat, though. Bet's on the level 1. Oh.
He had it, and that is the thing. Street Fighter 6 is hard. In those moments, if you don't convert in that like such tense moment, you're gonna drop the ball. And Arthur had it. It was in his hands, and he said, "Nah, Hot Dog, you got it."
That man captured the essence of Reynolds with that one.
Not like this, bro. It's too soon.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
That's my boy. It's all right, though. Hot Dog showing who's the man in this matchup. Luke is getting absolutely schmixed in the corner. Just take the throw.
Yeah, this is what it was looking like, one of those games where the momentum just kind of carried over from the last round. But maybe Arthur can kind of turn this around here. Yeah, 6 frames on that crouch medium punch, and that Sobot is -6 as well, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, so gets the free punish right there. I like that, getting a little bit more space with the drive reversal. And now Arthur 1 touch away, but that was a deep DP.
My man was crouched. He was camping before that DP. Again. I love it. You got the wall now as well. He's got 2 bars, so he can't pop off, but he doesn't lock him down in the corner.
Oh, and it's so close here. Emperor slowly edging out, and Hot Dog is totally okay with this. Not able to check the drive rush, but it's a full gauge back. And now you got to hold that. And the wonderful bait. 9 out of 10 times, you're pressing a button there after the OD into the drive rush, and Hot Dog says, "I'm number 1. This is the one shot." No.
Yeah, that was definitely unfortunate. Emperor now going to make the most of this round, though, so far. Just as I say that, Hot Dog immediately popping off with an OD reversal. Tried the back throw to take the corner advantage, but Emperor was ready. Oh, no free get outs for you. The up kicks get chased down.
Yeah, massive damage opportunity here, and the burnout to boot. So I think if you're Hot Dog, you know, you just give this round away, save the meter quickly, and move on forward. But he can fight this out. It is possible. It is just a climb, and there we go. That's the best case scenario, honestly.
Yeah, it's not bad for a Hot Dog. He's still got 3 bars on deck, right? Massive meter advantage going into round 3. Wow, you see the way he was inching close like that, then catching the recovery of the Sobot. All right, Hot Dog might be getting a little thirsty on the ground.
Yeah, the scariness that is walking forward. I mean, with the prominence of drive rush, we forget, but it's still such a strong tool. No conversion off the punish counter, though.
Yeah, that could have been most of your life bar, to be honest. So Emperor got to count his blessings there, trying to press buttons, but no, you getting punished left and right for whatever you doing. Now the CA is going to put him at a life deficit, very low on the drive meter as well. This is long commands.
Yeah, this is incredibly rough. And the screen position isn't that good, because now if you tap parry and it's wrong, you're going to get completely smacked into the wall. Able to escape, though, and now it's Hot Dog approaching out of the corner.
And Hot Dog, you see, he was comfortable betting on those big OD air slashes, checks the drive rush, but a trade both ways allows Emperor to live another day.
Yeah, you are not allowed to trade anymore, Emperor. It's got to be a clean hit, and there's nothing clean about that. The anti-air comes out, and Hot Dog showing why he is the top dog. Moving on to top 8, winner's side. We'll see him play tomorrow. No more today. We have had too many glizzies this wonderful morning.
Yeah, this is the prime glizzy hour, to be quite honest with you.
It's true.
But yeah, man, it really looked like Emperor kind of got lulled into a false sense of security at the end right there, right? Because I had just talked about Hot Dog really relying on the air slashers towards the end. He was willing to throw out the OD. He was willing to throw out the fireballs like that, and Emperor felt confident in the read. He knew he needed to make something big happen. Tried to jump one last fireball. Unfortunately, got heavy kicked for it.
Yeah. And there was a couple times, too, where Hot Dog did not have the anti-airs on deck, and Emperor was able to get the jump in, started the pressure, but it really didn't amount to anything because Hot Dog had it clutch in the last moment. And I feel like this was a huge turning point, too. When he got that drive impact, evened it up, and it's so hard to come back in a set, especially after you miss the DP follow-up. Hot Dog had to feel good about that one, and the momentum carried over right into the next game. Still, Emperor put up one hell of a fight. I can't wait to watch them play later. That was such a good punish, dude. It felt like every shimmy was working out for Hot Dog. Ugh.
Yeah, he was right so many times on offense. You see even there, right, like just baiting it out after the parries. He was looking clean. Emperor was able to force a final round here in game 2. You saw it was a great chase down. Definitely didn't let too many things get past him. Didn't let Hot Dog get too many free opportunities. But nonetheless, Hot Dog just played so clean today, especially with that last bit of advantage, just waiting for him to jump. Not even concerned with his back to the wall. Just played so composed. Well done from Hot Dog. That's going to be a banger tomorrow. Lashar and Hot Dog in the building. But, of course, we got so many more matches to decide in top 16 winners today. Next one is going to be Chris Wong versus Yoro. And, again, Yoro was one of the players that defeated Xiao Bao to get into this position. And Chris Wong has been holding it down for a little bit now, representing Hong Kong as well. On the Luke, lots of Luke today. We are in the building, seeing it represented. And on the other hand, Cammy, a very lethal character in her own right.
Yeah, right now. I mean, I want to see which character is represented the most. Obviously, it is Luke, and I feel like Cammy can do incredibly well in this matchup. The walk speed is super good, especially with the buttons Luke wants to press. It helps her deal with suppressor incredibly well, especially on the shimmies, because she can just walk away incredibly fast. Sandblast, you go ahead and spin knuckle all the way through, and it's dive kick is so dang strong in this game. I really feel that way.
Yeah, so like the thing about dive kick in this game, right, is that a lot of light block string pressure revolves around 3 lights, right? Because you can chain your light as many times as you want. But usually after the 3rd light, the 4th light, if you would go into it, would whiff on the opponent. So that's usually when the opponent tries to press the button back or some new thing happens, right? And dive kick is so good at catching people's press backs. Yeah. Like everybody that wants to press crouch medium kick or any medium type buttons, they just get dive kicked on after the light block string. So it's something to watch for sure when you play against Cammy.
As a Ken player, has it been many times where you've done stand jab, crouch short, stand jab, and then you go a little forward and you get dive kicked, and then you're in the corner?
Yeah, and it is punish counter. Like it is catching your recovery frames on your buttons.
It hurts, man. It hurts. It's definitely something that happens more often than I'd like to admit, and it's one of the stronger tools. So you have to rewire your brain and how you'd want to reset your pressure, and that's one of the strong things Cammy can do. So I want to see how Luke can navigate this matchup because it's going to be a treat. It really is, and both of these characters incredibly strong. We've seen Mena RD on the Luke really showing strong performances across the board, and then you have Punk on Cammy just winning back-to-back can openers and just showing the world he's still got it, man. And
yeah,
I don't know, that character she's so strong.
Yeah, you know, that's the beautiful thing, right, is that I think a lot of characters right now are being shown that they're viable in tournament play, right? And Yoro is actually not even going to play the Cammy. We're going to bring out the Rashid. Speaking of viable in a tournament setting right here, we've already seen JB, you brought up Can Opener, got 3rd place at the last Can Opener, made top 8 for the World Warrior West Coast this past week. But right now, Chris Wong not looking for the Rashid to get off.
Yeah, and I mean, I want to see this from Yoru. It's always a pleasure. That charge of Eagle Spike, the fact that he did not get punished, Chris Wong got to be hitting himself for that one. Then the whiff throw, big stuff on Luke right here.
Indeed, we already got the shoulder knockdown, try to get the quarter carry, but reaching from that far away. Rashid's crouch medium kick 7 frames, so one of the faster ones in the game. Got to be wary of that when you face the character as well.
Oh, and it's so hard here, too, because you cannot drive reversal now. You're in burnout, and we're seeing the same thing with Luke. I feel like every single time 10 seconds pass, he's already in burnout. Yeah, early and often.
The character definitely feels like he's starved for drive meter a lot of the time. It's really been on the onus of the players to kind of manage it well. Chris Wong reacting with the level 1 as he should. Drive reversal probably as well, but the tornado still gets launched. Blocks the empty low, and then drive reversals one more time, but he's back in burnout.
Yeah, you have to find a way to escape the corner. Goes for the parry, and he finds a way out with the air knuckle. That was a huge check. Not enough to kill just yet, but Yoru has been answered every step of the way. For Wong, it doesn't matter that he's in burnout. He's just playing better.
Yeah, getting a little bit of advantage there off the forward heavy.
Oh, no way. But it comboed.
It did combo, yeah. The punish counter fierce into the drive impact. And Yoro, he can't drive impact back. He doesn't have enough health to survive. So good awareness there, but gets tagged by the OD Sandblast as he tries one of his own.
Dude, he said hands up, doesn't matter. Look, Mom, no hands.
Waka would be proud.
That's right. Oh, yeah. And the first drive rush pickup, too. Chris Wong is looking so dang good. But again, the drive gauge is just a state of mind.
Yeah, 100% right. Hopefully you can build some back here. Yeah, these block strings is locked down in the corner, but I love that. You get hit once, just parry afterwards, gets the perfect, gets out of the corner, but the walk back crouch medium punch.
Are you dead?
Chris Wong. Oh, yeah, most def. Double drive rush combo built to the level 3. 1-0 just like that. You don't get to play.
Luke builds so much bar in almost every single one of his routes, and each and every super has the utility that you'd want in a character, and Chris Wong was in control the entire time. Are we going to see the Rashid again is the question that I'm asking right now. So I want to see, hopefully we go to character select. There it is.
We do.
So I think we're going to be switching back now. And I like that decision. You know, try the Rashid out. You're still in winner's side. It gives you another opportunity, right? And trying that out, especially in the high level setting. Maybe they don't have the Rashid experience. Maybe you're going to catch them off guard.
Yeah.
But right there, Chris, he was ready. He was beyond ready. Everything was checked. The drive reversals were so clutch. And even though he was in burnout, it didn't feel that way.
Yeah, he didn't really let him get the Rashid shenanigans off with the level 2, right? He was just drive reversing him off constantly. So very smart spending on the resources from Chris Wong. And yeah, we're going to see Yoro bounce back to that Cammy. See how he approaches the matchup now. Oh, the Killer Bee in the building.
But the drop, too, early on, that cannot feel good. So Yoro's got to get these confirms on deck.
Most definitely. Oh, active with the crouch jabs right now, just trying to put up a wall. Very important in this game to. Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, man.
Never mind what I was going to say.
The Rashid jeans run deep. He did drive rush forward DP.
You know?
Second verse, same as the first.
Apparently, right? He was that confident in his Chris Wong's stuffing of the drive rush. Speaking of stuffing right there, gets the perfect recovery punish on the dive kick.
Turkey Day came early. That was such good spacing from Chris Wong. Everything getting stuffed right now, and it's looking like Cammy is having an even harder time. But finally getting a hit, corner carry, and I'm out of there.
I mean, Chris even spitted the extra bar right there to smack her back down. I'm surprised.
Yeah, it gives a little extra space, too. So, I mean, it makes it harder for Cammy to get out. But now, not the perfect knuckle. But still, Yoro afraid to press back.
It's your time now, though.
No way. Yeah. Oh, and it whipped. Yeah.
Okay, and good awareness to just tap the parry there because that super has no range. Then gets the drive impact on the wake up. Super successful. Very high efficient hit rate on the meaty drive impacts in the corner.
Yeah, and I like that from Chris Wong going for the commitment there, right? The first reversal hits, you're not going to expect him to go for it again. But doesn't work out, and Chris Wong finds the hit early on in this round, and it's looking so good.
Yeah, that was tough. Just ate it on the forehand right there. No anti-air to be found. Now you're locked in this corner here. Chris Wong does have set point as well.
Uh-oh, but the back throw now, we're in the corner. A lot of life on the line here, so Yoro's got work to do in the raw drive impact. Catches him off guard. Gonna go ahead and just go for the cannon spike here. Nothing much afterwards, but the burnout is there. We saw him be able to play around this so well before. Yeah. It's now do or die.
And you saw what we were talking about before with the dive kick after the 3 lights, but again, just abusing the drive impact. Chris Wong not ready for it.
You can't be ready for everything, especially when it wasn't being presented before like that. This isn't going to be enough to kill, but you're still going to be in burnout, that extra little gauge. It's up to Chris Wong. Is he going to present the drive impact? Can you react? Let's find out. Oh, no. No way. It's a wrap.
Yeah. Chris going to clean it up real quick. Goes into the level 3 to cash it out. Well done indeed. A little bit scary towards the end, but Yoro cannot bring it back in the fashion that he was hoping for. Yeah, great stuff from Chris Wong. One of the things I wanted to highlight towards the end there, it was what we were talking about before with the light block strings and Cammy being able to do dive kick after him. You saw Chris Wong, he actually committed to the sandblast on the 3rd light, which hit her out of the air, right? That's something to keep in mind for this matchup. I mean, Chris Wong definitely seemed ready for the Rashid and ready for the Cammy. My man's homework has been turned in.
Yeah, absolutely love that. And like you said, it's different than the low forward coming out because then you're going to low crush it, jump right on over, and you get a full punish. But the sandblast is so dang effective there that you just get scooped out of the sky, and then you're stuck in that same situation. It never feels good. And everything was Chris Wong the entirety of the set. This second game, 20 seconds pass, and he's like, all right, pack it up. We're going into the next set. Give me your main character. Give me the Cammy. And the spacing was just so dang good. The first time the dive kick was represented, Chris Wong had the answer. There was one little slip up there with the beast mode baby completely whiffing. It was not his time to shine. And the drive impacts were really clutch from Yoro. But I think what put the nail in the coffin at the very end was the overextension in the corner. Putting yourself into burnout, especially with Chris Wong, like finding a way to escape, that's never good. I don't think you should ever spend the meter pressuring in the corner to put yourself in burnout because one mistake spells defeat, and that's what we got to see here. Chris Wong moving on top 8 for today.
Yeah, you better be very confident in your next sequence of offense, right, if you're going to do that. So Fortunately, you're all falling a bit short, but again, all these players that are losing these first 4 matches are not done for the day. They're going to be in the second round of top 16 losers, awaiting the winners of the first round of top 16, of course. But before we go any further, I got to let y'all know all the regional CPT online events are now available to sign up. You feel me? You're watching Asia East today, but Central America East is coming to a close when it comes to the registration very soon. This coming Monday, 8 a.m. Pacific, the registration is done. Make sure you get signed up for one of the next CPT events. It's going to be beautiful watching the Caribbean go at it. I am very much looking forward to that one.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing, too, because there's a lot of strong players in that region, and who comes out on top, I can't tell at this moment. So make sure you sign up, not only for that, but we have the 2 offlines as well, Singapore and France, that are on the table at the CapcomProTour.com, so you can see it right there. October 20th to the 22nd for Singapore and France. November 3rd to the 5th. Registration is open now, so make sure you get in there, because almost every single player who is worth their salt is going to show up, and they are going to try to get that spot, because there's only 2 of them, and then you have your regions and the World Warrior, so it's hotly contested just like that. And you can see the schedule right there. September 16th, Central America East, Brazil right afterwards, September 23rd, and South Africa on October 14th. So maybe Javi M is able to get that run back at the end. Sick. He's been training super hard, and the Chun-Li did amazing things at the Red Bull Kumite, and I want to see what he's able to do in his own region again, really representing strong and showing that you can't sleep on anybody, man.
Most definitely, man. So yeah, again, all of that is for a qualifying spot at Capcom Cup 10. More information over at CapcomProTour.com. But I also want to shout out one of the partners in crime for Capcom all year long. That's that Chipotle, baby. Chipotle has joined hands with Capcom during this first year of Street Fighter 6. Download the app and join Chipotle Rewards, the fastest way to free Chipotle, bro. I know you can unlock the in-game points as well. All kinds of cool stuff going down in the realm of Chipotle and Street Fighter. So make sure you get to the app. Make sure you visit chipotle.com/rewards and get as much free Chipotle as possible.
Yeah, 2 cards earned at EVO, and, I want even more Chipotle afterwards. And I'm going to need a little bit more water. I'm going to need a little bit more snacks. Maybe I'll get some later. But you're going to get some more Street Fighter later. So please stay tuned. 5 minutes. We'll be back in just a bit, and you're going to see even more action.
So how would you describe the chicken to someone who had never tasted it?
Literally melt in your mouth tender. We don't have a freezer, It's almost like a farmer's market. When you walk into the restaurant, you should hear the sizzle that you're hearing right now. Just sends all those waves up to your mouth.
You're making me hungry.
Time to work, time to work. When inhaled, coriammertin blocks the gamma-aminobutyric acid receptors in the central nervous system, causing spasmodic muscle contractions.
Master, it's a work of art! It's perfect!
What to do with you now? So, shall we put him out of his misery? Time for some experimentation. I bet poison would work wonders on you. I wouldn't move if I were you. Poison's on the menu. I'm finished with you. I have you. It's over. My order's dead. Let's do now. Here, there, then here, and... My magnum opus! Is my poison kicking in?
Street Fighter 6.
I'm here with one of the most fashionable men in the history of the fighting game community, and one of the funniest and most trolling dudes behind the scenes.
No
You are a troll.
Why
Will
not
King.
troll?
You
Hi,
don't think
Rob.
so? What's
Hi,
up,
Rob.
Will King?
I'm good.
It's good to see you, brother.
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, for sure, bro. You know, last time I saw you,
Capcom Final.
but before, oh yeah, actually even then, that was with your Street Fighter League team.
Yep.
So I just want to talk about in general, man, what was it like for you finally going through and winning Street Fighter League?
It's like a dream come true.
Yeah.
You know, before the team UIU, we lost 2 times. And even the last season, in the beginning, we are battle.
Yeah.
But we battle from battle to the top. So it's
Yeah.
like a dream come true. But unfortunately, in the World Final, we got 2nd place. But I hope this season, we will come back again.
Street Fighter 6 just
Yes.
dropped out, Levy. Do you understand that? You know how big of a deal that this is right now? $2 million on the line in the prize pool for Capcom.
Of course, and then you see the Evo, how many players joined, do you know that?
7,000, bro.
It's never like that.
It broke a record for the most entrants in the history
Yes,
for Street Fighter
so
tournament.
I will say the Capcom do a really good job. And again, not only for the pro player and the player, even for the new player, for the viewer, for everything. I can see not only in Taiwan, not only in US or Japan, the whole world Street Fighter community become bigger and bigger. I can see that. And I believe they will become more big.
The whole world definitely is hyped up right now. Oil King, if you were to win the $1 million for first place at Capcom Cup, okay, yeah, I see you smiling. You already looking like, you salivate at the mouth at that Billy. All right, so if you were to win that chili, what will you purchase?
I will buy a house in Taiwan, Taipei. So I
you'll move into the city. You want to overlook the landscape and all that
something like that. And then one day, if you come to Taiwan, Taipei, you can come to my house.
Okay.
This is my champion house.
Oh, the championship house. I'm pulling up?
Yep.
Oil King, I'm taking your word for it, bro. I'm definitely trying to pull up.
No lie.
This has been one of the most electrifying men in the fighting game community. And you've heard it here first. He gets that $1 million championship house. Big Hollywood Raw TV is the first person pulling up. We signing off, baby. More CPT action coming at you right now.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Capcom Pro Tour Asia East. We just finished 3 matches lightning fast, and we're getting right back into the action. If you're just joining now, I'm Jake Ryan, joined by my best bud, Ringe, on the mic, and he's been taking some notes, and he's got a lot to say about these matches. I feel like he is the FGC historian that we need to give more credit, because he does so much work on the analytical side of things, and if you haven't been paying attention, you're going to learn today.
I appreciate that, Jake. I appreciate it very much, for sure. I'm just doing my best, right? I think that's one of the next steps of our community is take the analytics, the statistics a little bit more seriously, of course. Yep. And one of these 2 players, or excuse me, both these players, I've been watching very closely, one for a while now and one relatively new to my eyes. It's going to be NL versus Uma up next right now. NL been around the block here. You see how the top 16 has played out so far, though. Before I get to that, Lashar and Hot Dog already solidified in the top 8 along with Chris Wong, but Chris Wong still has a mystery on his mind, who his opponent is going to be tomorrow, and that is what we're going to decide next. Now, NL, been around the block. If you're familiar with the Street Fighter scene, this is a combo breaker champion from 2018, multiple top 8s throughout Street Fighter V's lifespan. He's been putting it down. On the other hand, Uma person I really got familiar with in Street Fighter 6, commentating ICFC Asia. He was the champion for the entire season, took first place more often than not throughout the season. So this dude is one of the favorites to actually take the entire tournament and one of the favorites to give NL trouble.
Yeah, and I really love that too, because we saw how strong Lashar was earlier, and then seeing Uma show up incredibly well in the ICFC Asia. NL's got their work cut out for them, and you know it's looking like Luke on the board too. More familiar with the Cammy, but feels good on the Luke. Incredibly strong too. People, I think he's top 5. I definitely think he falls in that region. I think people's jury stonks have been dropping a little bit, but what we saw earlier, she got checked the whole way through by Chun, and now it's up to NL to hopefully, in his mind, show that same performance. Can he stop the drive rush pressure? Can he control the pace of Jury? And I feel like that's going to be the tale of the tape here. But Uma's got a tale to tell about this match.
Oh, yeah, let me see what's the quote. This is a turning point in life, and I want to win. I tell you what, this dude has been serious since I've seen him play this game. Every time I watched an IFCFC, he always brought something new to the table. This is one of the guys that really makes me believe in Jury. Him, we just saw Yosan had a really great performance at the latest World Warrior in Japan as well, I believe, getting 3rd place. So the juries, you know, maybe the stonks are dropping, but the results are climbing, and Uma has a big chance to, as he mentioned, to get a turning point in life and put the world on notice that might be sleeping on the character.
That is definitely some main character energy.
Yeah, for sure.
He said, "This is a turning moment. This is a turning point in my life." Like that is the. I think that is the motivation and mindset you need to make it happen, especially with how difficult this game is. Like, going into it like that, you're putting your heart and soul into it.
And, you know, I think even when people realize they're coming across moments like that in their life, to verbalize it, to actually, like, speak it into existence like that and make it reality is definitely a big cojones type move for sure. Uma is facing the facts here. And no, I mean, he's put a lot of dreams down asleep for real. So we shall see if this is another one.
He said, keep dreaming, young man. I've been here for years. I've got more medals than you have tournament entries.
Pretty much, bro. He's one of those for sure. NL, though, already cooking. You can see the flash knuckle damage from Luke. Always something to be reckoned with. And lockdown in the corner here. Uma's going to need something big to get out. Into flinch it on the dash jab and then trying to throw afterwards. Just getting himself together.
I think he tried to take the throw twice, too. And that is never a good feeling when you get absolutely smoked. But nothing getting smoked there. Perfect parry. Afterwards, finding the pocket. And I feel like that's always important, especially if you know your opponent's minus might try to steal a turn. Sneak that perfect parry back in. But NL, not dissuaded at all. And again, the drive gauge of Luke is... It always feels like it's below 2 bars, bro.
It do, right? And that's why you see the flash knuckle in there, and he just chills out and posts up at sandblast range, but he recognizes this. Double drive rush combo, a couple of perfect flash knuckles into a level 3. That is a mad damage, fam.
Dude, you blink and you might miss it, honestly. Pixel and a Dream. Uma, 2 bars to their name, and not going to be able to use any of them. Another counter hit in the corner. And this is a turning point. This is where you clutch up or you crumble. And I mean, I want to see Uma if he can utilize that mindfulness before the set to make that turning point a reality, the dream a reality.
Coming into this top 16, I anticipated this to be the most competitive match, but that was as lopsided as it gets in the first game. And now a big whiff punish from NL here, trying to continue that momentum. Oh, that is an Uma classic, though. All juries do it. The rising button, calling out the throw, backdash after the parry gets tossed.
Yeah, the defensive options from NL, I mean, presented early on. Backdash often forgotten, but at the highest level, you need to present it, and not going to be dealing with any of the throw loops, but escaping the corner, drive rush overhead, super strong tool in Jury's disposal. One more touch will do it, and there it is. Huge counter hit. NL trying to press and getting stuffed.
Yeah, taking his turn a little bit early right there. Uma had just committed to the OD fireball at that point. Oh, and then catches him waking up with some buttons again here. Oh, drops the drive rush conversion.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Gets another counter hit conversion here. But again, NL finding a way out with the low forward. No shimmies allowed. And typically what you need to see is instead of going for the straight walk back, you walk back to crouch, and that lets you deal with the low forward so you can get a full confirm. But Uma, not ready.
Stalked up at this point and then confirms off of the trade.
That's enough to kill right there. Uma turning it around just as fast as NL. And that's the clutch I was talking about. That first game was a warm-up. It's all right. Nerves are gone. Let's get back into it.
Yeah, that was sick. The drive rush forward after his fireball clipped, even while getting hit, still with the wherewithal. I mean, Uma bouncing back. That's what I expected to see out of these two.
Yeah, but now we're playing it a little bit slower this time.
I love that right there. The drive rushes the fireball, trying to bait out a reversal from NL, and now taking into account the medium kicks, not getting clipped low, but the walk under is not successful.
Yeah, the crosscut didn't come out. I like that attempt from Uma, just a little bit too slow. And then again, the check every single time you try to press. NL seems to have an answer, and now this corner pressure is going to be everything. Got the hit, but no confirm, committed to the charge.
Yeah, we're just looking for the flash knuckle plus frames at that point. Uma, though, I mean, so active defensively, but sometimes it costs a big drop. You see NL just whip it towards the sky right there, and then the rhythm of his defense caught the button press perfectly.
Yeah, now push to the corner, almost even drive gauge, and the throw loops come out. Can you answer correctly? And there it is, but burns out for the extra tick of damage. I don't know if it's worth it.
I was going to say, and now she built to the 2 bars. Feng Shui activated.
No way.
Oh, the jump, but yeah, because of that stall. Oh, the fuzzy instant overhead. Caught you blocking low while your character was standing up.
And now it's set point for Uma after what looked like complete control for NL. He might be out as well. Counter hit trade. Huge for Uma there.
And NL not taking advantage of the whiff, but does pop off with another OD reversal.
Yeah, and I like that from NL. Not being afraid, making Uma second guess these approaches a little bit, but still not slowing down. There it is again.
Yeah, able to recover in time to not get duffed by the flash knuckle. Life flash before her eyes at that point.
Yeah, you're looking at Popeye wind up the arm. He said, why I oughta.
Oh, the low. NL was back to the corner, but still not watching his leg in that instant. Switches up, right? He had so many successful wake-up ODDPs. This time just pressing buttons, catching Uma, trying to switch up the pace a little bit.
Yeah, cashing out early and often, too. Not only to win the drive gauge war, but to have even more time to build that meter. We talked about how Luke is so adept at doing it. Not able to kill the drop on the knuckle is huge, and now you're in burnout. You didn't create a one-touch situation, and Uma is in complete control here.
Oh, yeah, and you're done. You can drive impact.
Yeah,
not even going to go for it at this point. Super does connect, but it doesn't dissipate the fireball, and he didn't have the life to live through it. Perfectly calculated from Uma. He will be advancing into winner's side top 8.
It felt like there were so many key mistakes from NL right there. Not only on the charged knuckles, but just on a couple of drops. Seeing him whiff the crouch heavy punch on the confirm, it's kind of uncharacteristic for him. But again, Uma was it was so dominant in that first game, and it felt like a different player showed up for the next 2. The control was uncanny, and again, it was the overextension into the burnout. We saw it earlier with Yoro and how it ended his life in the corner, and then the same thing happened to NL. You make one mistake, and if you don't win that next decision, you're just going to get trampled. It didn't matter that he was one touch. He was in complete control. And again, it was complete domination in this first game. Every drive rush check. NL was more than happy to burn out and cash out because he was not afraid. And I feel like that overextension is what did him in.
Yeah, it's one of those things, right? Like where if you're going to burn yourself out in those instances, a lot of the time you got to make sure you have that level 1 in your pocket.
Yeah.
Because like being put to the corner with no ability to counter the drive impact at all, I mean, it's literally checkmate a lot of the time, right? You have to hope that they space the drive impact close enough to throw it. That's really your only option at that point. A lot of the times the players are going to be so sporadic and unpredictable with the way they go about getting that drive impact that your throw is just not going to be there when you need it. So perfect stuff from Uma right there. Yeah, that was the big drop of the flash knuckle.
Dude.
Actually did punish the fireball, but again, her fireball has the privilege of going along the ground, right? So it doesn't get dissipated by the OD super projectile. Well done from Uma. Perfect calculations to end it. And yeah, what a comeback after a dominant first game from NL.
Yeah, that was very impressive, and I see why you talk so highly of Uma going into that set.
Bro, I got scared for a second. After that first game, I was like, bro, I was talking him up so much, and he's going to get washed. But no, he came back and proved me correct. So good stuff to Uma for sure.
Dude, he was not able to channel the power of 1-800 commentators.
He was not today.
It did not happen, and it did happen for Uma. So going to be moving on tomorrow to fight Chris Wong. We're going to be seeing NL a little bit later today, but we're moving on to the loser side where things are going to get even more contentious. The first match that we're going to be having is Sysak versus Yugang, followed up by ZJZ versus Oil King. I think my highlight of the loser side in the first round at least.
For sure.
And then Yunjabes versus Fox Rain, and then Sun Baby versus Serini to really round it out. And this loser side is going to be wild.
And you mentioned, I believe you mentioned Oil King, how in his pool, he had lost to a player in the winner's bracket. They ended up getting the run back in the loser's bracket to qualify into this position. Same thing with Yugong. Yugong lost to Bloodsong in the winner's bracket, ended up getting that run back to get into this position in the first place. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting one to get another Hong Kong versus Taiwan battle. We see both of those countries well represented here along with Korea. But yeah, Saisak in the building, rocking the Kimberly as well. And Yugong, I know, very young player, age of 16 in the building. So hopefully going to be using those young man reactions. No modern necessary when you're that age.
Yeah, I can't remember the clip of the 11-year-old in Japan. Just absolutely. I can't remember the player he was playing, but the faces.
Sasamo.
Yeah, Sasamo. The faces after in the interview, the kid was like, look at my Luke plushie. I'm having such a great time. And Sasamo's like, I'm just trying to get my citizen. I'm just trying to
I'm a professional SFL JP player, and
I will never recover from this.
I'm losing to an 11-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, hey, life comes at you fast, and these kids are getting better and better. And like you said, don't need modern when you're that young. And I mean, you put modern in their hands, and it's even worse. You're reacting to everything at all times with no mistakes. So I need to see what Yu Gang is bringing to the table. And again, not a character we see as much. People are having the conversation, oh, Kimberly's not the best, but then you have Oniki in Japan winning the first World Warrior. I think this character can still make it happen. Obviously, once you get pushed in the corner, not having an OD reversal makes it hard. But we're getting straight into loser's side. The first match of the night and the first perfect parry on interactions. You're not allowed to approach me. Remember how old I am?
For real, both players out here representing the parry nice and early, what I like to see here. You know, already shoved to the corner here. Yugong not going to try to let Saisak get off. You don't want to let Kimberly switch sides on you in this instance or anything like that. Just goes with a forward throw, so that's fortunate.
Yeah, gets a little bit more space. Not afraid. What a reaction again. Had that perfect spacing for the sandblast. Tried to go for the perfect parry, but not the answer.
That boy's a teenager. For real, for real.
I mean, he's got the hat cap backwards and everything. He probably looked at Luke and he's like, man, he's so cool.
He's got a Luke plushie too.
The lime green outfit.
Limon.
Wonka in the back says, I'm looking for you, man. I like the light colors. What a cross cut.
Yeah, no escape from the corner for free here. And Saisak, this burnout has felt like it's lasted ages.
Dude, the jump in, too. Kimberly had the elbow up, and Luke said, no siree. Look at these knuckles.
That's one of the 4 apocalypse buttons right there.
That's right. Right arm of the forbidden one. You see that, and you start to see the locust flying in. You're scared.
Oh, the stand medium kick just barely whiffed. The drive rush into whip punish it. Oh, empty
jump.
Low blocked.
Yep.
No escape from the corner via the sky. Still locked down on the corner.
And the thing is, too, you have to commit to a super to escape. Why you reaching? You reach, I teach. I'm talking to the teachers in high school after this. But right now, I'm the teacher. I'm the senpai. Dang. You gang. I understand. All right, that was a beatdown.
Yeah, he's a very strong player for sure. Want to see, we saw the reactions on deck, right? And he was just crossing his T's and dotting his I's, really. Like, there was nothing that Saisak tried to do that he didn't pay for, right? Like the jump out of the corner, got anti-air. A lot of the drive rushes got checked, but that one was successful. Let's see if Saisak can kind of, ride this momentum. Kimberly in the corner is as dangerous as the character can get, but just as I say that, Yugong gets a free jump out.
Yep, and the iframes through the can, and now 3 for your troubles. Do we have one more?
Yeah, keep doing it. Make him tech it.
Give it up
make
for
him jump. Oh, he did make him jump. The crouch medium punch catching him, trying to escape to the sky again. Level 2. Put her on life support, if not put her 6 feet under.
I think she's done for just enough. The perfect damage calculation.
Pulled the plug.
He's taking math classes, man. You can't mess with this kid, all right? He knows the Pythagorean theorem. It's all triangles for him.
Yeah, that's fresh in his mind.
He's pressing.
Not like me. I've long forgotten that information.
I mean, yeah, he presses all the buttons, right? So he's figuring out square, X, circle, triangle.
Oh, and again. Maybe trying to reach in that bag for an anti-air. Got stuffed, and then the parry gets thrown.
Yeah, it feels like every single defensive option is just going the wrong way for Saisak, and that's exactly how I feel. Please help me. I cannot escape.
In the corner yet again here, trying to wake up with buttons this time. Actually cornered himself. Again, a little bit too reckless maybe with the offense, but Saisak hasn't really made him pay. Very close to getting burnt out. Yeah, Yugong wanted it. Burns him out at this point. You can see not committing to anything, maybe thinking Saisak would buffer a super, but no jumps for you, fam. Wrapped it up real quick. 2-0.
Yeah, Yugong was in control the entire time, that said. I don't think there was a moment where he was at a deficit. There were some times where Sysak really got some good momentum in the corner, created these situations, but it felt like Yugong escaped at his own will. It was instilling the will of the set. The momentum was always on their side, and sadly, Sysak is going to be going out of the tournament. Still, top 16 for your region is incredibly impressive, especially with how strong Asia East is. And I don't know, Yugong versus NL is definitely, that's old versus new. Right, that is a 20-year gap between these players. He has been playing fighting games probably longer than Yugong has been alive.
Yeah, I think that would definitely be a pretty accurate prediction or pretty well done read on your part, Jake Ryan. So definitely good stuff to Yugong. He's going to be moving on to, as you said, face NL to qualify for that top 8. That's going to be going down later today, of course. Next up, though, is that match where between the two players that were very surprised to see in the loser side of the bracket, right? ZJZ out of Taiwan going up against Oil King, also out of Taiwan. Both of these players been around the block multiple times. You can see mid-30s. This isn't their first fighting game. Both world champion caliber players as well. ZJZ has been rocking the JP in Street Fighter 6, and of course, Oil King, we saw him on the Manon, we saw him on the Chun-Li, but the boy Rashid has arrived. And that is the character he's known for, and that's the character I'm hoping to see today.
He's got the Turbulent Wind back in his hands, and I think Rashid is in a really good position here. Obviously, seeing the birds start to pick him up again, showing strong performances. And
Gachi-kun as well, John Takuchi.
All of them. All the Rashids are back in the rotation, and this character is a menace. I want to see what Oil King is able to do, and it is not a statement I thought I was going to say today that one of these players is going out at 16th place.
Yeah, definitely not what I was expecting from either side, right? I would have firmly expected both of these players to be going into the top 16 on the winner's side of things. Big ups to JB as well. We mentioned JB getting third place at Can Opener just this past week and making top 8 of World Warrior West. So yeah, all the Rashids definitely being or seeming to find the groove with the character, right? I feel like at the very beginning, everybody was like, I'm not so sure, but it just took some time. He's one of those characters that has a lot of options, has a lot of trickery that needs to be discovered, and these players are definitely busting them wide open now. And this is a matchup I'm interested in seeing going up against JP, right? Any of these type of like high mobility characters or characters that have these like enduring projectiles like the Super R2 from Rashid. I'm always interested to see how it kind of clashes with the JP and how they play around it.
Absolutely. And Oil King had some time to talk about this match and break it down a little bit for us. And his idea is to fight well, one game at a time. Wonderful mindset, especially with how long he has been in the game. You never want to focus on who is down the line, because if you don't beat the person in front of you, then you're not getting anywhere. And ZJZ is definitely a worthy opponent. And bringing up back the Rashid topic here too, Rashid has a unique advantage, I feel, against JP in the corner, especially with the charged up fireball, right? Because JP wants to OD Amnesia, and Rashid gets that free Oki every time, so it kind of takes that off the table, and it gives Rashid this wonderful situation. Also, if JP tries to escape or tries to get a reversal, he can go for the short version, doesn't go for the full charge, and then gets a punish anyways because of an overextension. So I'm really excited to see how that boils down. What is Oil King prepared for this matchup? Because JP has been a menace online, offline, across the world. Everybody's had something to say about the character. And yeah, a certain Grappler defeated one, so I think maybe we all just need to get better. Who knows? And we're gonna see if Oil King has prepared for the matchup. We have to hold that, man. Like
Reynolds, man.
The timeline has been changed forever.
You heard
all right,
us, bro.
Uma said there was a turning point in his life. That was a turning point in the meta and the tier list conversations. Reynolds could have given us the correct timeline, and he didn't. But one of these players is gonna give us the correct approach to this match, because one's going home and one is moving on in the loser side. I can't wait, man.
Yeah, that definitely gave us a turn for the worse when it came to the Twitter discourse, I'll tell you what. But yeah, it's great to see it again, man. I really feel like all these characters in the game are viable in a tournament format, right? And a 2 out of 3 and a 3 out of 5, anybody could get got with the strength of these characters. But Oil King, no Rashid to be found, going with the lore battle, the classic that we've seen in this game already time and time again, the JP versus the Ken.
He said, I'll never financially recover from this. And Ken, it's personal.
And this is very interesting to me because like VX Bao was a player that main JP and then played Ken for this matchup, right? But just at the latest China Invitational, he played the mirror. He was like, JP versus JP, bro. I'm not even playing Ken in this anymore. So we shall see what Oil King brings to the table.
Yeah, let's both play the Ghost game. All right, it's the only one that can deal with it, but Oil King definitely has his reasons for playing the Ken, and I feel like Ken can definitely get through this matchup because of that. The potency of the drive rush and his options off of it can really lock down JP, Fireball, Oki as well, but everybody is susceptible and equal to the throw loops.
Indeed, beats him to the punch. ZJZ also committing to the drive rush, but definitely too late on that one. King, perfectly times the jump. No goes here. We busting those.
Yeah, and I like that too. Gets that for very cheap. Only has to utilize drive gauge. And this is looking good too. And what you'll see here from Ken as well is a lot of block strings. You'll end with the Fireball because you never want him to OD Amnesia, and it creates that space that you want to stay on as Ken. So love that from Oil King.
Indeed, an Oil King showing a lot of respect in his approach, being very patient, not overexerting, not relying on the Dragon Lash too heavily. Does get caught right there. That's something that JPs have gotten so good at, just waiting for you to cancel your parry into the drive rush and stuffing it out.
Yeah, that crouch medium kick is a criminal move, and I love that. Gets the counter hit this time. Oil King pressing the crouching medium kick a little bit earlier to create that situation, and now you're one touch away, taking the throw. You're not allowed to take much more, and he's creating that space. He goes right back. He beat the OD Ghost with the low forward. Oil King! He didn't even need the bar. He said, no meter, no problem.
Those goals, they take some time, right, to get their active hitboxes on you. So Oil King able to just beat it out in time. Very well done here. ZJZ now. This is something I've noticed in his play before, though. He gets a little drive impact happy, especially when he goes down.
Oh, no.
Trying to look for that. Now looking for the parry answered. Oh, man, the drive rush jab tick throw. He even missed the initial drive rush jab and still got it off.
He parried the first one? I don't know what he was going for, but it would have been a genius move to avoid that. No way, dude. He's doing everything right in this matchup. It feels like he has an answer for everything ZJZ is presenting.
Yeah, that was good stuff. At least ZJZ knew to just press a crouch button after the second hit of the target combo, but man, that drive rush crouch medium kick is plaguing him.
I feel like the lack of spikes here too is really affecting ZJZ because he's not stuffing these approaches. Typically, you can lay the traps for these drive rushes even further and keep that space, but none seen just yet. But now ZJZ finally finding a hit, and those anti-airs are so dang strong. But the full
perfect
punish.
parry on the Ghost. Yeah, left some damage on the table, but finds the corner carry combo anyway.
And the bait!
Baits it out, gets a little bit of damage. Could have got more, but it's okay. Wants to preserve that drive meter.
I love that. Gets the 4-piece right there. ZJZ could have jumped out of that one, but not willing to try to escape. Love that little shimmy, and now it is almost lights out, and the bait will be it. I think the fastest set and the reset. Why are you like this, Oil King? Insult to injury. Oil King sends ZJZ out. I thought this was going to be the most contested in the loser side, and it looked like Oil King read the script. He said, no. Look it. I am talking to the director, and this is how it's going down. Oil King completely dismantling ZJZ. Impressive.
It was one of those games where OD Amnesia needed to be forgotten about, right? Given its namesake. Every time that ZJZ tried to do it, Oil King predicted it perfectly, just baited it out. He beat him to the Ghost multiple times. That drive rush crouch medium kick was a huge problem in the neutral. ZJZ just never really felt comfortable. You called out the lack of spikes. He wasn't really ready with that crouch medium punch either. One of the great tools at stuffing the approaches against characters. And yeah, man, just unfortunate, right? You kind of get overwhelmed in this game. It's very easy because these characters have such suffocating offense to just not get your feet under you. Yeah. And when that happens, sets like that take place.
Yeah, and I felt like he was at that perfect position almost every single time. He never let ZJZ create more space, and the low forward always felt like it was close enough. Every single time the Ghost was presented, he was in drive rush range to connect with the low forward, and there was nothing ZJZ could do. Oil King was in control, calm, cool, and collected, and knew where he wanted to be at all times and how to really shut down JP. So super strong performance. He's going to be fighting Yoro a little bit later, so the Ken has his work cut out for him, but like, that was so impressive. I don't know how he went to losers. Like, seeing him play like that.
For real,
like,
right?
Bro, that was impressive.
So, yeah, definitely good stuff to Oil King. Going to be moving on. And good stuff to ZJZ as well, of course. His tournament journey has ended today, but the online premieres are not the only way to qualify for Capcom Cup 10, right? There's also the World Warrior regional events that are now available to sign up for. 26 different regions, 26 qualifiers from those regions because they are regional champions, all going to be going to Capcom Cup 10 to qualify and contest for that $1 million first place prize. Of course, $2 million prize total. And go to CapcomProTour.com for more information on the World Warrior events and all that follows.
Absolutely. And if you're trying to learn more about the players in your region, who they're fighting against, their friends and everything, you got to go to the Bucklers Boot Camp. If you don't know what that is, it's a free game link, mobile-friendly website packed with features supporting your enjoyment of Street Fighter 6. You can see player data, your rivals, friends, clubs, ranking information, and everything all at your fingertips. It's actually incredibly valuable, and you can find other information on characters, in-game events, rewards, and updates. Make sure that you look at the column with Street Fighter developers as well to see the secret story behind how they created the game and what they were thinking about as they were cooking, because they cooked up something good. And make sure you use the Bucklers Boot Camp, because you are going to have a much more fulfilling experience by tapping in. Use that QR code. That's where you're going to want to go. You may hit the gym. You got to hit the Battle Hub, break a sweat, because that's how you're going to break out in these World Warrior and Capcom Pro Tour events.
Perspiration is a necessity at high-level fighting games.
You better be sweating.
It's just how it is.
You better be sweating. If you're not sweating, you're not delivering your best game.
That's 100% true, and thank you for telling them that, Jake Ryan. And also, we got to take a quick break here because we've been sweating on commentary, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Losers Bracket action right here on Capcom Fighters.
You're really making all of this by hand.
Oh yeah. The avocados are hand mashed, the chips are hand tossed, and everything is made fresh.
You make it fresh every day.
Yes, every day. The Chipotle way is we make it fresh every day.
Sounds delicious.
Objection!
I present the Hunter from Komura.
This
I am extremely excited right now because, of course, not only am I with my brother Brian Neff, but we also have none other than Solibus, South Korea's very own TO for the World Warrior program. And on the translations, we have my man's burnout fighter, who I go way back with.
South Korea puts up some of the biggest numbers when it comes to Street Fighter and CPT.
Okay, and Solibus, so are you an OG with the FGC? How long have you been playing fighting games? Around when did you start?
연도로 생각하면은 잘 30년 이상은 된 것 같은데 정확하게는 세지 못하겠습니다.
Yeah, so technically I started my fighting game career, or so to say, since the release of Street Fighter 2, the original Street Fighter 2.
We don't need to count the years anymore. You've been around from the beginning. I've been watching Spirit Zero do tons of tournaments back in Street Fighter 5, and I think I remember as far back as 2017, I used to tune in on Twitch and watch some of the weekly tournaments that you guys would put on and some other events and watch the high-level play. So how long have you been working with Spirit Zero, and how did that get started?
2009년에 취미로 시작을 했는데 그 이유가 우리도 해외에서 보는 원데이 토너먼트를 해보자, 더블 엘리미네이션 원데이 토너먼트를 해보자 라는 목표를 가지고 시작을 했고 2016년 스트리트 파이터 5가 리리즈된 이후에 본격적으로 활동을 해서 어쩌다 보니까 지금까지 활동을 하고 있습니다.
Yeah, so back in 2009, me and my friends kind of started as a hobby. And then we had a little bit of a dream where maybe let's try a Korean version of a weekend tournament where it's double elimination, where we invite a lot of people. And we kind of had a path to the goal, closer to the goal, with Street Fighter 5 and its release.
You know, you started this event back in 2009, and now today, with the World Warrior program, someone competing in your event will earn the right to go to Capcom Cup. What does that feel like to know that something that you've built from the ground up is now putting a player on the biggest stage for Street Fighter to compete for $1 million?
그 캡콤에서 몇 년 전부터 이제 자체적인 온라인 프로그램이랑 이런 월드 워리어 프로그램으로 캡콤컵을 구성하는 것을 어느 정도 이제 완성을 했다고 보거든요. 그거는 굉장히 이제 영리한 판단이라고 생각을 합니다.
Very thankful for Capcom to provide us this opportunity where we can guarantee at least a Korean player to the finals, the Capcom Pro finals. It's a really great honor, and Capcom has always been generous for us to have these events and where people are always interested to participate in this.
Speaking of honors, man, interviews like this for me and Brian is always an honor to carry out because all of our favorite moments, all of our favorite legendary players would not exist without having people like Solibus actually making everything click behind the scenes. So from me and Brian F. and from the community as a whole, Solibus, I just want to say thank you, and it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Capcom Pro Tour. This is Asia East Top 16. Beautiful interview with our No Neutral buddies, Rob TV and Brian F. Holding it down with Solibus, as well as Burnout Fighter on the translation. Definitely good fellas all around. And it's been good matches all around so far today, hasn't it, Jake?
Yeah, it has been blow up after blow up. And even though the score lines say something different, it was close matches across the board. Some of them not. Some of them were very dominating, but
the last one,
at the same time, yeah, that last one was a beatdown. I think the closest match we've had so far was definitely Uma's match where he was able to come out on top over NL. But we have even more matches, and it's still loser's side, so one life each. And even if you win this one, you're not in the top 8 just yet. So you got more on the docket and even more matches. The one we have coming up next is Yun Chavez versus Fox Rain, and then Sun Baby versus Serini to finish out our round 1 of top 16 losers. And if you can see the round 2, it gets even more exciting. NL versus Yugong after Yugong's. That performance was beautiful. Yoro versus Twisted Minds, Oil King. I've never seen a Ken play against JP that good, besides Angry Bird, I would say. So beautiful to see there. Emperor waiting for the winner of our next match, and then Korean Wrestling Man, our first match of the day, finally getting to play again against Sun Baby or Serini. He's waiting all day. He's like, ooh, these are some good matches.
I always say that's the toughest spot to be in, is the person that loses the very first match of the day, because then they don't get to play till the very last match of the day, and it's a top 8 qualifying match, right? So definitely always going to be a lot of pressure. It's going to be up to Korean Wrestling Man to stay warm, try to spar with some of these players that might be playing Sunbaby or Sereni's character. But as you mentioned, next up is going to be Yunjabez versus Fox Rain. I believe we have a quote from one of our players as well. Oh, but before we get to that, I want to see the matchup themselves, right? Both in the building, Yunjabez is going to be rocking the Ken and Fox Rain rocking the Jury. And Fox Rain actually also defeated Xiao Bao. I mentioned that earlier, but if you're just joining us, he's obviously one of the strongest players of the region, and Fox Rain was able to take him down. And this is a matchup we're very familiar with, right? We saw Chris CCH and Nephew play this at the World Warrior West just this past week, where Nephew was able to come out on top. Nephew dodged the matchup in Grand Finals up against Chris T, so we shall see how Fox Rain feels about it and how Yunjabez brings to the table. And what quote did Yunjabez actually bring to the table, speaking of which? It may be very difficult, but I want to do my best. You can see all these players trying to keep their minds sharp as possible, a lot of positive mental attitudes coming into the top 16 today, and that's one of the big aspects you need for success at high level.
Yeah, I think mindset is something that people really put to the wayside because it is the difference between a good player and a great player. And we've been seeing a lot of great plays here. And typically, if you have that mindset, you're always willing to grow, always willing to adapt. And that's what we love to see because there's not a lot of time to adapt in a first to two. If you get to that first three, once we get to top 8, you have a little bit more time to adjust and you can really make miracles happen. So Yunjabez versus Fox Rain, Ken versus Jury, I feel like it's a Street Fighter 6 classic at this point.
Yeah.
And I think the name of the game is who starts their pressure first, because they both become incredibly oppressive in the corner. And if they're able to get the side switch, like Ken with a Dragon Lash, maybe a jump out, and Jury with a back throw, it can fall apart very quickly. So I want to see who gets the opening gambit, who can really control that corner position and not let the other player play their game. And we're getting into it here, starting right back up for our last match of round 1 losers for Asia East. Ken versus the orange and red Jury. I love the homage
I like this Ken
to the
color.
costume.
I don't think I've seen this one, actually.
Yeah, this one's good. I need to get all the Ken colors.
Oh, but yeah, for Ken in this matchup, in my opinion, you got to really get into that jab range, right?
Yep.
Utilize that very quick button to nullify some of her range advantages, like the crouch medium kick, right? I mean, especially with that -1 jab and that 7-frame crouch medium kick, you can definitely catch Jury slipping a little bit once you get close enough to do so. But right now, in the corner, the perfect parry is going to switch all this momentum. Huge for you, Yunjabez.
Yeah, this corner control is where everything begins, and not biting on the first reversal, and Yunjabez keeping it safe. The 3 jabs are not answered. But now finding a way out, just double jump.
No anti-airs.
Yeah, if you don't present it early, I'm going to play Leap Fighter, not Street Fighter. My feet do not belong on the ground. You see him? I'm not wearing shoes.
Let's not talk about where Jury's feet belongs.
Let's see again. The throw comes out, but in Burnout, you're not allowed to make any poor decisions here. Huge counter hit. Fox Rain, are you going to find a way out? Still locked down. Plus frames for days.
Yeah, this is definitely scary. He can get chipped out if Fox Rain commits to a super here, but it doesn't even need to. Ends up throwing after the jump in. Yunjabez, he was just down backing, hoping he could buy enough time for that Burnout mirror to come back, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the Dragon Lash getting stuffed by the stock. Ow.
Yeah, and I like that too. I love the attempt at the Dragon Lash because if you time it right versus the stock, you get a punish counter, full extension to the corner, and you really get to start your game plan. And the game plan is starting to fall apart. Yunjabez is almost burnt out already. And I'm surprised the level 3 didn't come out there from Fox Rain. It would have put him in Burnout, but still on the table.
Just keep him locked down in this corner right now. You got to do something or get forced into Burnout. Forced into Burnout it is. Drops onto the fireball. At least gets to block it because of the empty jump. Oh, ends up getting clipped there. Maybe he's still in the air.
Yeah. And not willing to cash out on the level 3 here.
You can chip.
Yeah. That was complete domination. And like I said, whoever gets their game plan started first, whoever can get to that corner, really can make it happen. And Yunjabez was sadly at a deficit because their offense got completely stopped. And when you're in Burnout against Jury, it's I don't know, man. What's the answer?
And Fox Rain's defense on all these drive rushes has been very potent. He didn't, oh man, yeah, all his wake-up defensive choices have been very on point. He didn't get baited with the drive rush jab earlier. He tech like the drive rush raw throw. So this is really good showing so far.
Yeah, and Fox Rain has seen that there is a trend of no anti-airs from the side of Yunjabez so far. So the dive kicks was first present there, and the jump-ins have been plentiful.
Indeed, yeah, right. Oh! Tatsu is one of the ways you can get over that low crawl and fireball across the ground. Again, the drive rush pressure is just weathered, though, as she gets right out with the jump. Oh, but the counter hit got caught pressing a button after the walk back. Went right back into that crouch medium kick range. Yunjabez Going with the level 2 since the drive rush was depleted at that point.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go for the Dragon Lash in the level 1. I think it would have been enough to kill, but again, better safe than sorry. Nunjaves gets a round on the board, and now putting Foxrain into a position where he could even up this set.
He was able to land the driver's throw beforehand there, but again, Foxrain's defense has been very on point. Not blocking his head on the recovery of the parry there.
Uh-oh, now burnout is imminent. The same situation we saw in the last round last time. Level 1 reaction is not there. Gets the charge, the fully optimal extension. Are we going to see a reset here, or are we just going to continue the pressure afterwards? Wonderful, perfect parry. It's my turn to play once again.
Yeah, doing it right after the stand medium punch plus frames right. Not going to let her take the turn for free. Parry's such a huge mechanic in this game, and the meaty stand fierce, allowing the link to the crouch medium punch. Yunjambes, yeah, he was a little greedy with that one, not trying to cash out too heavily. Give Foxrain another chance at life here.
Yeah, about to burn out themselves, but still the critical art is on deck, so you make one mistake and you are done for, and that was such a good reach. Got the punish counter completely, and that spacing was so good. We talked about using the light punch to be in that close space, but the low forward is able to connect. We get the drive rush afterwards, and a wonderful way to close out the round. I think something I want to see here, too, from Yunjabes, we haven't seen a lot of the stand light kick representation, because that's a great way to check the buttons that Foxrain wants to put out. You can go and convert into the DP, you can go into a Tatsu, you can even drive rush if it's on counter hit to get a full confirm. So a lot of good things that you can do. Haven't seen it just yet, but again, able to even up the score. This one decides it.
And again, he's been down backing on these parries, and during the recovery, just getting hit overhead by the jump-ins.
Yeah.
Oh, but again, the crouch medium kick has been putting in extra work for him. Sometimes you don't even need to set it up with the jab.
Nice. No back throw, though, so that actually puts Yunjabes into a pretty decent position, but Foxrain was able to find another hit here. No reversal. The overhead checks the dome. And the Feng Shui engine is going to do a ton of damage here. I think you get one more situation to really kill Ken. Let's see
the fuzzy setup.
Yep.
Oh, double overhead. Doesn't even go into the fuzzy. Nice. Good blocks on the double overhead. Oh, and then the big stand fierce commits to the Jinrai after gets some decent damage out of it.
And it burns out the rest of the Feng Shui engine, which I think is exactly what he was going for. What a risky Dragon Lash. One decision away. Do your reversal, Foxrain. He baited it out and got caught. Standing up, walking back, and now it's set point for Yunjabes.
That was good stuff. Foxrain didn't bite on the bait earlier, but Yunjabes wasn't ready to take his turn after seeing the bait didn't come out. That time, he was very ready for it.
And I love the continuous attempts from Yunjabes to punish the charge with the Dragon Lash. Just a little bit too late on it, and it is a difficult window. Sometimes you got to make the psychic read, the wish punish. Not able to get it just yet. Foxrain now keeping that space, and again, tried to get the punish, and the perfect parry finally presented. Foxrain figuring it out.
Good damage to corner carry. Wow, instant OD air Tatsu to escape the corner.
The eject button.
Oh, and the dry rush fierce catch, and Foxrain a little bit slow on the trigger that time, but finds an opening of his own. Has level 2 on deck as well if he wants the Feng Shui.
Didn't get the full confirm on the counter hit there, but everything is still coming up very healthy. I think Yunjabes can still definitely make this happen. As long as that drive gauge doesn't go to negative.
Tried it again right there, but the Dragon Lash actually fortunate. That was a little short.
Nah, the overhead gets wonderfully challenged. The low would have worked out there, but we're going to final game, final round. Our first set to go the distance.
That's true. All right, who's actually going to clutch it out here, get into that losers round 2 for a chance at top 8?
They're both playing a lot slower here. The first drive rush gets checked. Yes. Enabling that situation because of the perfect parry and cashing out to get that drive gauge back and get about 1.5 bars here.
Yeah, if you don't perfect parry in that instance, the block's a little bit too long for you to check with that button on what Ken was trying to do, so needed to do that for the freedom.
Do you try to reversal here? That throw tech was paramount. Let's see how this goes. Parry let go of, and that should be it. Foxrain with the perfect, saying it was all too easy at the end. Yunjabes not able to escape. All the meter in the world could not save you, Ken. And that is it. Foxrain moving on to the round 2 of loser side top 16. Yunjabes putting up one hell of a performance. And, you know, it's nothing to be upset about. That was a great run getting in top 16 here. Hopefully see them more in the World Warrior, especially with how strong Ken is. I want to see how they're able to adapt and deal with this because jury's pressure, if you're not on point the entire time, you really can get run over, and that's what we saw at the end there. But still, really great moments the entire time.
Yeah, she's just a frustrating character to play against in neutral in general, right? Because of the slow-moving fireball, her tremendous walk speed behind it, how far her drive rush goes. There's just so many things that you have to account for. that a lot of the time it's very easy to just get overwhelmed and get annoyed by the character. Great perfect parry started coming out. And in general, I mean, he just looked super on point on the jury play. And yeah, I love that link after the fireball.
Yeah.
It was so clean.
Just felt like all the answers were present at the very end there, and that's what it takes. You, especially in a first to two, if you can get that adaptation at the end, because it was set point for Yoon Jabe's, but Fox Rain was not dissuaded. And that last round really told the story that each piece of the puzzle was finally present, and that's what the present was, how the present was delivered to Fox Rain. You get a chance for top 8 to find Emperor later, but we're going on to our next match, which is going to be Sun Baby versus Serini. Again, this is the last one of our round 1 loser side. JP versus Kimberly. I am surprised.
The Kimberly.
The Kimberly presence. Something's in the water.
I like it.
Something's in the water. They're liking Kim, and I feel like Kim actually can do a pretty good job against JP. She is so dang quick. The high mobility characters, you were talking about it earlier, and maybe we're going to see that same story again. We didn't get to see the Rashid versus JP, but Ken can be pretty high mobility, and especially with the range Oil King was playing, it looked like JP didn't have any answers. Can Serini replicate that, or is Sun Baby going to show us why JP is one of the top dogs in Street Fighter 6?
And just to give you all an idea of how these two players got here, Sun Baby was able to defeat Gamer B twice in the bracket, double jeopardied him, and Sunrini actually defeated RB as well. So definitely a good stuff to both of them getting here. Those are two legends of the region, able to put them in body bags. And yeah, Serini going to be rocking the Kimberly. Sun Baby as well, going to be in the building. I'm looking forward to this 100%. And Kim against JP, on paper, a lot of players believe that Kimberly has some answers, right? Because she has the teleports and whatnot, very quick, the slides, all these things that can get her across the screen to where she doesn't have to worry about the spikes that she can get before the ghosts become active hitboxes. Lots and lots of answers. But, of course, if JP's kind of holster that a little bit, right, they're not trying to set up the bullet hell, not trying to set up the obstacles. He has tremendous normals to stuff people's offensive approach. I think that's what really, truly makes him such a strong character. So we'll see if Sun Baby keeps those on point. It'll be real easy to let that get away from him, though.
Yeah, constant checks and balances versus the accountant. And there's the first check finally. But getting to the corner early, Serini feeling good here. The drive rushes are plentiful. Now staying at that space. Wonderful check on the little hop. Now Serini going back to that full screen position because the rushdown game has not been paying off so far.
Oh, no check on the drive rush, though. Now we got the corner. One throw. Let me get 2.
Give me up for number 3.
Oh, the tick version this time.
Can we get 4? We cannot. OD Amnesia. This is 40% off, Kimberly? Maybe? Just about? Oh,
pretty good.
Goodness.
Side switch on top of that right now. Her whole advantage just gets tossed away. Stuck in the corner here. She's got level 2 now.
Oh, man. But about to be in burnout, and it doesn't matter. Not able to block the ghost the proper way. Definitely afraid. Those spooky dudes sure are doing damage. Kimberly immediately going back in, and there is another one of the checks. I don't need to set up the minefield. I just need to react with my big old buttons.
Yeah, and that crouch fears, it might be JP's normal that actually stuffs both teleports. A lot of characters have that where you, if you react with a certain button, it'll stuff both teleports. So that's going to be unfortunate. He's going to have to be a little bit more sneaky about how he uses it.
Yep, gotta demonstrate that close-up game, utilize the slides and the slide feints a little bit more before you present that. And again, the elbow drop answer too. The range on that button is criminal. And again, the crowd, you just brought it up. I can't believe it. Magic in motion. It's almost like this guy knows what he's talking about.
So yeah, as we saw, right, the crouch fears, doesn't matter if you're coming from the ground or the sky, it means you die.
Yeah, by sea or by land or by sky, you will die. Where's the underwater Street Fighter character? That was the latest perfect parry on the slide. You're disgusting, Sun Baby.
Yeah, because like on perfect parries on meaties, you still have to time them, right? Like if you just hold it, you don't get the perfect parry. It's when you input the move. Wow, she's trying to fake him out to do something, but
playing Elite Fighter again. Let's see, the knockdown comes in, not able to keep the pressure. A little bit of a check, but Serini ending it a little early, trying to bait out those buttons. No back throw though.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, she kind of has to work him towards the other corner, and you can see it's so difficult to do so. Burns herself out in the process. Yeah, and Sun Baby is playing this so well, as we talked about, not getting overzealous with the projectiles, just harassing with the crouch medium kick, but costs them there.
Yeah, too deep on the jump in there for the crouch heavy punch to connect, and this might be the first round Serini is able to get. Big counter hit, but again, the can is there, not gonna pop. Oh, the drive reversal keeps you safe. Wonderful jump out, but no punish.
Unfortunate.
Not like this.
Locked down in the corner now. Sun Baby gonna pop the level 2 again. Serini gonna escape. Oh, it gets clipped by the ghost. Dry brush confirmed. This is set point for the Sun Babe.
And that is unfamiliarity right there. The Ghost continues to check Serini, and you have to block correctly against that level 2, and we've seen it hit twice.
Yeah, Serini, I mean, he's had parry available both times, too, and he hasn't really wanted to threaten that. Oh, got the counter hit, but didn't believe.
I feel like once you start playing Afraid against JP, you give him too much liberties. Okay, punishing the Ghost, level 3. You get the extra speed, the extra damage. Great start. Still a big hill to climb.
That's huge, yeah, because she has a chance to build some more meter here. Has the corner as well to just close out this round. Oh, catches the recovery on the jab. No time the overhead too early.
Yeah, not median up, but the teleport jump, we talked about it earlier. As soon as you start laying the minefield, Kimberly says, I'm right in there.
Exactly.
I'm mine sweeper.
Oh no, actually got the landing frames punished. I didn't even see what she pressed in the air. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Again, the level 2 comes out. Do you have the knowledge? Are you going to parry it this time? Not opened up.
At least he
no, we spoke too soon.
I was literally about to say at least he blocked it the right way and then got hit by the very last Ghost.
Yeah, it really be like that. No, punish.
Got caught reaching, let the spike combo as well. Sun Baby looking to shut the door on this set.
You got to be so careful, too, because Sun Baby hasn't presented the command grab yet. It might sneak right in, but the spike is more than enough. That's checkmate. I am sorry. No, but the slide, you might just have enough. You can't block a Ghost. You can't block anything.
Got
Slide
past
right past. Unbelievable. Oh, this would be the comeback of the century. And the bait on the OD amnesia. Ridge, what is happening?
You had to wake up with Super, bro. That would have been better because you at least could have chipped her out. No! And there is the wake up Super after the fact. Didn't get the chip out, but caught Serini with her hand in the cookie jar. Pays for it.
All the stars in the sky almost aligned, but the strongest star of all along, the Sun Baby, came out on top. Serini almost made it happen there, but it was JP in control. And I mean, at that point, because they were still in burnout, they had to go for that commitment. Anything that woke up, unless you baited the level 1 with a jump, which is so scary against JP, with the air throw, with the crouching heavy punch, with just about everything. You can't check it all. And I mean, if Serena would have got that started a little earlier, we might have had a game 3, but Sun Baby able to close it out with really good control, even in a dire situation.
Yeah, good stuff to Serena, though. He definitely made Sun Baby sweat at the end, right, with the slides past the projectiles. Like, literally, just by the skin of his teeth dodging these chip outs, made it a very dramatic finish, but Sun Baby was able to clutch it out. Big ups to both sides, man. I love seeing the Kimberly representation. You can see the merits the character has in the matchup. But the JPs have adjusted. I mean, the character is just so well-rounded a lot of the time. When you're in the right mindset in a matchup, it's going to be tough for the other character to have an advantage.
Yeah, and I love to see that too. Serini had a lot of great options and reads in that last game, but it just didn't work out. So Sun Baby is going to be moving on. And that rounds out our round 2 of losers. NL versus Yugong, Yoro versus Oil King, Emperor versus Fox Rain, and Korean Wrestling Man versus Sun Baby to round it out. But before we get to the rest of those round 2 matches, NL versus Yugong is what we have on the docket. We have been looking forward to this one, and it's a story of new age versus the old guard. Can the youngin defeat the Street Fighter god? That is the question that we're going to be having here. One of the legends, pinnacles of the scene, and you've got the young blood coming in to strike for the head. You got to aim for the head if you want to take him down, and it is Luke on Luke action here. I want to see what Oil King present, not Oil King, NL presents. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. I was thinking about Ken. I was so excited, dude.
Yeah, NL has to contend with some of the other Taiwanese representatives, right? Of course, got sent to the losers by Uma. Now has to deal with Yugong as well out of Taiwan. I mean, yeah, he's going to be put through the gauntlet. Those are 2 players that are really going to test NL, and what a lot of players believe would be some of his more fierce competition coming into this top 16. We already saw Uma fall down 0-1, only to come back 2-1 and send him to losers in the first place, right? Now, Yugong, 16 years old, right? Got the reactions of a young man, got the fearlessness of a teenager.
They have no fear.
There's one of those things, right, where NL, he's been around the block. He played throughout Street Fighter V's lifespan. These, with that experience comes expectations with how people play, right? And when you play against young players that haven't really formed the same habits as other high-level players, you can get caught off guard because you're not really expecting their decision-making.
Absolutely, and you're going to have to make some decisions fast and hard at the start of round 2 losers. This is a top 8 qualifier, a lot on the line. Do you want to play tomorrow and have a chance to qualify or go home and figure out how you're gonna perform in World Warrior. It's time now.
Pretty much, exactly.
You got a lot of events you gotta win, or you can do it now. Also, olive on the side of NL and yellow on the side of Yugong, so you don't get confused.
Oh, okay. Yugong, that's a young man's outfit.
Absolutely.
That's a little loud. NL got the subdued warm colors. I like it.
Yeah.
But right now, NL, the one with its back against the wall. Oh, and he bet big. But Yugong showing some veteran wherewithal there, even with his young age.
He bet it all on olive, and it turned up yellow. It's not what you wanted, man. Sometimes life comes at you fast, just like the checks on the drive rush. No green stuff today. Wonderful stuff. Caught the backdash right there, too. Yulong trying to escape, doesn't want to take any pressure. Let's see how this goes. And the bait and switch. Going to be a huge confirm here. Saves all the meter, and that is 7 golden letters, baby. You know what those look like? Well, Yugong doesn't know. It's the first time he's seen it. He doesn't have a lot of perfects against him.
I see.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was a real student-teacher moment right there for sure. The crouch medium punch is one of the best. Look, you see them just pressing it. Both sides, right? It's an amazing drive rush stuff button as well. Oh, but this time NL gets caught reaching. Yugong teaching the lesson to the master after all. Spins the level 3 as well. Give me my drive meter back and a huge life lead in this third round.
Yeah, that crouch medium punch is definitely old faithful that we've been able to see here.
Well, 6 frames with that much range is +1 on block. Ridiculous button.
Oh, but no, it's not guaranteed, especially when you have the 3
Got
bars.
him.
You can cancel the beast mode too, and that is so good for NL. He may be the older one in this match, but the tenure gives you the ability to also react because you know those situations are coming, and he was prepared.
Exactly. He used Yugong's expectations against him, right? Yugong was like, oh, I know you can punish this, but
oh, no.
Not when he has the level 3, but he baits him out with an air flash knuckle. Big punish, but he did put himself in burnout. NL does it again. That's how he lost the first round. Not scared to represent the same option.
That's the thing, too. Yugong thought he had instilled his will, but if there's a will, there's a way. And NL getting the first game on the board. Not afraid of Yugong here.
Wow, and they got back into it so quick, bro. Yugong.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to take a moment to breathe, but this is the young man, right? The aggression. You want to get that run back. You want to get your lick back.
They call that the salty. Give me that salty run back. I need it. Only one game? No, not happening. But yeah, NL still in control. No anti-air. The spacing was a little funky there, so not sure in the drive rush on drive rush impact. Came out in NL's favor. Back to the corner. The backdash has been represented so much from Yugong here.
And again, no anti-air from NL, as you mentioned before. Now we got the perfect parry suppressor follow-up side switch.
There it is. That was actually a super clean anti-air on just the neutral jump.
But that crouch medium punch drive rush buffer right back at you. Let me take that corner for myself. I'm Marlo Stanfield.
I love that how they're just like, no, it's your corner. No, it's my corner. And you know what? NL's reactions in his corner are looking good. The signs are looking positive, and it is 1 round away from sending Yugong home. Back to school with you, boy.
And the crouch medium kick round enders. That's how NL closes out the first game, closes out this round to put him on set point.
Again, being so patient here. Just walking and blocking, but finally gets checked by Yugong, getting a little bit more space here. No reversal this time. How many throws will you take? And it's only 1. Tried to jump out of that situation. Finds a way.
Indeed, he was looking to escape one way or the other. Does so, only to get put right back at the corner. Got caught walking back by the low. Good stuff from Yugong there. Able to control this in the corner yet again. My goodness, as you can see, he's staying with the meaties too. Will he ODDP? He does! Of course, NL had done it every time in that same instance. Yugong is 2 for 3 on the blocks, though.
He'll never go for it a 4th time. If he does and it works, then Yugong is shook. So we're going right back into it. No punish on the grab there. Had the read. And it begins. NL getting quickly checked. I love the double whiff on the crouching medium punches. It cracks me up every time. And again, we saw that same drop earlier.
Some hiccups on the gameplay right now. That's why NL maybe just walking back a little bit, trying to get the connection and get its bearings again.
Yeah, all right. We're going right back into it, and I love the respect from both sides there. Happens from time to time. And again, the same jump in. He got the same interaction. Once again, this is going to be massive damage. A one-touch situation. Yugong has to find a way to escape. You got to deal with drive impact. You got to deal with the throw baits. Can you survive?
We're surviving for now.
Dude, he punched the PS5.
He did. Bulls back it up now. I mean, NL's like, bro, you got to come to me at this point. Like, I don't care what the issues are. Right now, you only got a little bit of life left.
Critical art on deck, too. A little bit of drive gauge, 59 seconds.
Man, you need to give that router some Red Bull right now, fam.
These are some MVC seconds I'm seeing right now. Oh, what a crosscut. Yugong staying alive. One touch will do it. Remember, the crouching medium kick has been the decider here, and it is the Sandblast to check the drive rush. NL showing that Tenure comes out on top. Yugong gonna have to study the books a little bit more, and you have more than enough time. I believe this player's future is bright and plentiful. Lots of Street Fighter to play, lots of World Warrior to play as well, and as you can see with the shades, calm, cool, and collected, there's another day in the business, and NL still stands at the pinnacle of Street Fighter, showing why he is one of the strongest in the region, getting that top 8 berth here.
Yeah, big ups to NL right there, holding it down. Yugong with a great showing as well, as you mentioned. Very young player, going to be entering a whole lot more of these Capcom events to come. I know that for sure. But NL, as we expected him to, maybe not on the winner's side, but still top 8 berth. And he will be awaiting the winner of Euro and Oil King to see who his opponent is going to be tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Opponent tomorrow is going to be coming up, but we have even more action coming up and action that you can watch from the past. Vicious and St. Cola have been bringing us the best that Street Fighter League has to offer in Japan. You can see all the teams on the board, and we're getting through round 1 as well, so it's getting hotly contested. I know that Team Hiroshima actually fell in the last edition, so no more Kichipamu, and DFM was able to take them down. So, you know, it's going to get even more intense here. There's so much on the line, so much prestige, and it's going to be a sign if we can see a repeat from last year. Is it going to be good 8 squad to really come out on top? I don't know what the narrative's going to be. It's a new game. It's a new edition, and Street Fighter League Japan is definitely bringing the heat. So remember, if you're not watching it live, make sure you check out the VODs on Capcom Fighters, because Vicious and St. Cola are walking us through all of it. They are working the morning shift just like us to bring you some of the hype of Street Fighter. If you can't stay awake through that, then I'm surprised, because my eyes are wide open. These players are electrifying.
And if you've been perspirating at the game and want to take a break from the game, but not perspiration, then get on over to the Bucklers Bootcamp, where you can play Pockets, a mini game in which you develop your character by training cute dot characters. The service is based on the motto Praise and Develop, which is the intention of Bucklers president. Feel free to register as a member, and let's work up a good sweat together.
Dude, Ken Masters in the palm of your hand, just like Chipotle in the palm of your hand. A burrito works perfect with your pocket, and that's all I'm saying. You got to go ahead and join Chipotle Rewards, because that's the fastest way you can earn some free Chipotle guac as well. Chips and dips and everything in between. You did it. I did it. We can do it together. Without further ado, we've got to do this together. We've got one more break that we got to take before we finish up the loser side round 2 to determine our top 8 for the day. So please don't go anywhere. It's going to get even more intense, and we don't want to miss you.
So how would you describe the chicken to someone who had never tasted it?
Literally melt in your mouth tender. We don't have a freezer, you know? It's almost like a farmer's market. When you walk into the restaurant, you should hear the sizzle that you're hearing right now. Just sends all those waves up to your mouth.
You're making me hungry.
Time to work, time to work. When inhaled, coriammertin blocks the gamma-aminobutyric acid receptors in the central nervous system, causing spasmodic muscle contractions.
Master, it's a work of art! It's perfect!
What to do with you now? So, shall we put him out of his misery? Time for some experimentation. I bet poison would work wonders on you. doing now. Here, there, then here, and... My magnum opus! Is my poison kicking in?
Street Fighter 6.
FGC, you already know that we are worldwide, baby. And right now we are taking it all the way over to Asia East. We have the actual TO for the World Warrior. And that is, of course, my man's Fireman Ruby. Ruby, what's going on with you, bro?
Yeah. 大家好，我是 Ruby 今天很开心能够接受Flying F and Rock TV 的访问。
Greetings everyone, I'm Fireman Ruby and I'm very happy to be interviewed by the two legends like Brian F and Rock TV.
Legends! We made it, Rob.
This is news. This is news to me. Shout out to Dennis, by the way. My man Dennis is on here translating for us. Now, the best player from Taiwan, at least in recent memory, is, of course, Oil King. And he is known for doing crazy DPs as well. Is this just like a Taiwanese FGC playstyle?
可以这么说吧，因为其实在 Gamerby 他刚出道玩 A 等的时候，他其实也是选择有可以升龙拳的角色。那即便是到了6代，他也是以这样子的原则在选角色。所以我可以说，这是台湾玩家顶级玩家普遍都喜欢凹。小宝。他的风格也特殊啊，他不凹，但是他喜欢到处飞来飞去，大家的风格都很独特，对。
We doesn't want to admit that, like it's not like a general knowledge here, but when you think about that, when you think about Gamerby start with Adon, which is also known for his DP, and he like all the characters he picked after, like Cammy, Nikali, everyone has a DP. So like we do DP a lot, but I don't know why, it's just coincidence.
Well, what about right now with Chris Wong? He won the first World Warrior event that you guys put on, and I actually got to play him at Evo. Super strong, but playing Luke, kind of solid. I don't know. Is Chris Wong? I heard that he might be the best right now in the region? Is he trying to put a stop to all the YOLO play and play more of like a slow style?
You know why? Because he's from Hong Kong, so different play style.
I see.
But yeah.
I see.
So I gotta ask you, with you talking about like the FGC professionally, what is your reaction to there now being like $2 million on the line at Capcom Cup? Seeing the FGC grow so much from a professional standpoint, what's that been like?
At first, everyone seeing the prize money announced for CBT, of course, is like crazy, right? We did foresee like all these like more tournaments, more earnings, more people are trying to join the game. All these things would happen, and also wish someone from our region can perform like very well in SF6 to embrace all these things that we just we earned for SF6 release.
But clearly, man, you are clearly an amazing dude, and you're funny as heck too. So it was dope to interview you, and hopefully we talk to you again soon, brother. Thanks for everything you're doing with the CPT.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Capcom Pro Tour Asia East. We have 3 matches remaining for the day to decide who gets into top 8. I'm Jake Ryan, joined by Rinj, covering all the action that we've had, and these sets have been nothing but amazing. And I think it's just going to get better from this point on.
Most definitely, man. Like you said, we got 3 more spots left in top 8 to award, right? Between, 6 incredible players for sure that are going to be duking it out. We already have our top 8 on the winner's side set and ready to go for tomorrow, right? Have earned their right into the promised land of 3 out of 5. And yeah, 6 more players are going to try to do just that. So we take a look at the bracket and how it's been broken down so far on the loser side of things. NL has achieved his berth. That's exactly where he wants to be, that top 8 on the loser side. But nonetheless, as long as he gets to that spot, he is a threat to take it. Now we got Yoro versus Oil King coming up next, then Emperor versus Fox Rain, and to round us out, Wrestling Man versus Sun Baby.
Yeah, gonna be such an exciting series of matches, especially with how we saw these players perform earlier. Yoro doing an excellent job in the winner side, attempting, and then Twisted Mind's Oil King dismantling ZJZ, making it look like
with the Ken,
like not even playing the Rashid. Obviously, Oil King known for their prominent Rashid all the way through 5, just making such immaculate performances with that character. And then the Ken comes out and just cleans up shop, and it was so clean, so dang clean. And we're seeing the Luke on the screen right here from Oil King. Character enthusiast right here. I think something that really defines a strong player is how many characters you can have in your back pocket for whatever situation. Different tools for different jobs, and Yoro's got one job to do. Make it happen with the Luke here, and it's do or die now. First 2 to see if you move on.
This fella Oil King is 38?
Yeah.
He's on that Pharrell diet?
Yes, exactly.
I did not know that. My man hasn't aged a day since I've seen him enter the FGC. That is impressive stuff right there. Okay.
I saw him at
It's
Evo.
all in the shorts.
I saw him at, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all in the shorts, all in the lotion. That's what I'll say. And I can't believe, like, I saw him at Evo, and I'm like, there's no way he's over 25.
Yes,
like, there's no shot. I'm like, he's too fit. The outfits he wears are too drippy. Like, my man is like the Red Bull aficionado, like just across the board. I'm just like, Oil King, you are twisting people's minds, making them. You got eternal age. You found the fountain of youth. The turbulent wind took you there, and now you're like, I gotta pick Luke. Not even that.
That's right.
What a switch up.
I forgot Yoro did play Rashid in the opening bracket. I forgot about that in his winner's side match.
Yeah, and it wasn't able to happen. He had a much better showing with the Cammy. This is such a Freaky Friday, man.
Bro, Oil King, I didn't realize this is the business character for the CPT Online Premiere, huh? The Ken Masters. I mean, it's a good character to get the job done with.
We're only picking $1 million characters here, Rinj. It's do or die. I think as soon as he went to losers, he said, never again.
I guess so,
I refuse to not play the best.
It would have been an easy punish. That Eagle Spike is like -1 billion. But it's all right. He didn't have the drive rush meter anymore, right? So he couldn't just like drive rush forward. He could have ran and step kicked, but he does have the drive impact counter prepared.
Yeah, able to react excellently, and that is a classic. Throw the fireball. They want to jump forward. You cannot do that against Ken if he's playing on top in the reaction forward. What an answer!
Yeah, great stuff. Recognizing that he didn't get the force knockdown. Just again putting the fireballs out. No free drive rushes here.
And the thing is, Oil King is going to be adept in this because he knows exactly what's going to beat Rashid. He knows what Rashid wants to do at the highest level and is already presenting every single answer. No more drive rush is needed. Takes the full Tatsu to the corner. And I like the parry there. The anti-air would have been a little better, but Oil King not letting the damage flow through.
Oh, yeah, that's what Oil King wanted, right? He
Yep.
wanted the perfect parry on the jump in, didn't quite get it, but he does get another counter on the level 1, putting Toro a little bit lower on the drive meter, saving
there
his
it
own
is
in the
again.
process. Yeah, no free jumps after the fireballs, bro.
Dude, we are watching a rerun. We saw the same two situations play back to back. That was scary. I think if he would have fierce DP'd, it would have reached, but that's a little little too frivolous.
And
Too
Euro,
much.
I think he empty jumped, so I think
Yeah.
he would have been fine. If he pressed the button, I think he gets DP'd there, but I'll put the pressure on him. Fake the overhead just to throw him up.
See the green stuff? DP out. I think as we get further in the game, that's the reaction we're going to see. And baits the perfect parry. We saw it happen before. Oil King adjusts quickly. Euro went back to the well a little bit too much. And I mean, as Rashid, your anti-air is kind of inconsistent, so I like the attempt to go for the perfect parry, but you have to present it from time to time. Otherwise, you will get opened up like that. That punish counter is a hell of a lot of damage, a hell of a lot of drive gauge, and a huge opportunity for your opponent. So I think we're going to character select. Are we going to see the Cammy again? I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like Oil King is calm, cool, collected, and in control. And there she is, Mrs. White herself. Let's see if she can get it done, or if she's going to be in the cat house for the rest of the night.
With the wrench.
That's right.
Oh, the crouch medium kick from long distance. That's how it goes, bro. You have to respect that range on Cammy. But yeah, this is exactly what we saw Euro do before, right? Yeah, I mean, the dive kick when you're trying to press buttons back, so difficult. You can see he's trying to abuse it right now. Oil King looking to adjust some of his pressure. No free plus frames either. The spin knuckle just gets perfect parried afterwards.
These are our plus frames. You will respect them. And I mean, that's a situation too. You have to be so aware. And I mean, Oil King being willing to, like, I'll take the throw, but this perfect parry will give me position. That was a great TP. Catches the recovery, and I have baited you. Give me all my drive gauge back. Do you? No, I don't think you super here. Goes for the reset. No shot. That is going to be so much damage, and the burnout is done for here. That is checkmate on that round. Oil King on set point.
Yeah, Oil King could have killed on the previous combo, but nonetheless, right. I think he got kind of taken aback by the fact he was DP'd in that situation, so he just took the damage he could get. Well, you are right now. He's really trying to put his foot to the pedal, bro. Like, up the tempo, up the pace, trying to make Oil King uncomfortable. But you heard Rob and Brian talk about it, right? Oil King, he's down for the chaos. He likes letting his swing. So I don't know if this is the best decision to do it with. And these drive impact bully games are not working.
Are you sure he's 38?
That's the reactions are there, bro. He is prepared.
He's at that LeBron age, man. He's making it happen. He's 36. He's got 2 more years, and he's making it look easy. Again, you cannot hit him.
Whether it's from a block string, whether it's on his wake up, he is ready. You try to dive kick out of that setup, still not going to work. Got his drive meter back now as well. He's even more dangerous than he was before.
Oh man, you gave him a whole nother chamber. He's ready. He's loaded and locked. And that was such a good bait. Drive rush into the jab, baits it out, gets the medium kick punish, and jab, jab, jab. That is done. No grab, grab, grab needed. Oil King cleaning it up like it was nothing. Sorry, Euro. Better luck next time. We'll see you in World Warrior.
Indeed, Oil King just closing it out right there on the missed dive kick, right? You saw Euro take to the skies, just do the split legs, no moonsault to follow, just death. Oil King taking it 2-0. Very well done. And yeah, look at this. That was a highlight reel that we saw 1,000 times in this set. The drive impacts, just getting level 1 by Ken. And I mean, he's got one of the best level 1s in the game to stuff you, right? Because it's side switches. You're always thirsty for that drive impact in the corner. You end up in it afterwards. He gets that full screen space to throw the fireball out, DP if you try to jump over it. Just at every turn, Oil King was ready for these reversals, right? You saw both 2 times right there. He baited out the super first, baited out the ODDP second, catches them trying to bully him with the drive impact.
Again.
Just not going to happen today. Oil King was 2 on point.
Dude, 100% prevention.
That was sick too.
That was so good, man. And the thing is, too, if Oil King goes in with a drive rush fierce, it's definitely going to be a kill there, but the spacing game was too much, showing dominance, showing why he has been such a strong player for years. And another matchup I didn't expect in top 8 loser side that we're going to be seeing tomorrow. NL versus Oil King. It's so rough in these deep waters, man.
Yeah, I'm assuming that a lot of people, especially if you just have more of a legacy knowledge of this region and you haven't been following it too closely in Street Fighter 6, I imagine a lot of people had this as grand finals.
Absolutely.
NL versus Oil King.
Absolutely.
And you're going to see it in top 8 losers round 1 tomorrow.
Brother.
So, yeah, that is a wild to see. You can see this whole region has really been stepping their game up well. And 2 more players that have been showing out nonstop are coming up next. Emperor versus Fox Rain, both representing Korea. Both have been putting bodies in bags leading up to this point as well. Again, Fox Rain defeating Yujabes in the last round, defeating Xiao Bao to get into the top 16 in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see that Luga jury match yet again.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it before. We've seen how it can play out. It goes, sometimes it's disastrous, sometimes it's contentious, and this is the time to put all your chips on the table because it's do or die now. You got to get that top 8th qualification. You got 2 games to do it. Let's see how it goes. Luke versus Jury. I want to see if Emperor can really be the wall that Luke can be, utilizing that crouch medium punch to check drive rush and really just stop what Jury wants to do. And yeah, like I said, now's the time to do it.
Absolutely right, and we'll see how the Fireball game kind of plays out, right? We saw Uma take it over NL in exciting fashion because the Fireball skirted under the Sandblast, or not even the Sandblast, it was this level 1 super.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, those things, right? Both of these characters have a lot of nuances in this matchup that they kind of exploit on the other. Both have great range on their normals. The Jury crouch medium kick, I think, is maybe a bit of a superior button, but that 6-frame crouch medium punch from Luke acts as such a good counter poke. All these times where she's trying to fish for that 8-frame crouch medium kick, she can get a counter hit on the way to do it. So, but he's actually not playing the Luke, playing the Ken. I did mention Emperor has been playing some Ken as well, so we're going to see it in this matchup specifically.
I like that. Specific tools for specific matchups. All right. Your Allen wrench doesn't work for everything. Go ahead and grab a Phillips screwdriver instead. Don't know what you're working on, but you might need to switch tools a little harder. And these tools are working great, man. The shed has been fixed.
Not blocking your legs after getting hit by Jinrai. That is a one-way ticket to the corner. Tries the ODDP out the pressure. My goodness, just fierces and mediums.
Dude, that was so good. And I also love utilizing the crouching medium punch, too, because 0 on block, you get to just reset the pressure. You put them in a situation, like, you want to press? You want to do? You sure? That was such a good grab. Too close on the drive rush. But again, Emperor still in control. That perfect was, like, 15 seconds?
Yeah, it was extremely quick round to open up the set. Emperor already harassing, trying to stay at that crouch medium kick range, but Fox Rain, that block string was plus all day, every day.
And something I like about this matchup, too, for Fox Rain is, you know, the level 1 is so potent, especially when you're looking for the drive impact. But if you set up the charge, you're not allowed to do it. One of the strongest jump fierces in the game, and we are burning you out, doing a hell of a lot of damage. This is going to give Fox Rain a little bit more meter, so you have a reversal available.
You got to be ready, bro. The drive impact needs to be answered with level 1. Actually gets to jump out, and the trade will be enough. And that's 3 bars down the drain for Emperor. Fox Rain loaded on his side.
Hey, you can't win if you don't try. And I like that Emperor went for it. Can build a lot of that meter back, and it's time for the engine. Can we rev up? Stops. It immediately says, get out of here.
Good drive reversal usage right there. She just gets plus frames for days on the feng shui. You don't want to risk that.
Yep. Let's see how this goes. Nice parries. Oh, yeah. Give me my whole gauge back.
For real?
Feels pretty good. And that's the double-edged sword, man.
And that's why Fox Rain's like, maybe I should throw him a little bit.
Oh, no, and that's what I was talking about earlier, that we didn't get to see the Dragon Lash punish on the charge, and then utilizing the stand light kick to get the full confirmed. Spacing was a little odd. Can't go with the target combo, but now stuck in the corner. Jumping out, no anti-air. That's rough.
Maybe a little bit too over-reliant on the parry. This time does clip him before the feng shui engine. Fox Rain, what's the setup going to be, bro? Double overhead, just getting hit by the first one, and then the dash out, too. They even just walk. Whoa, crouch fierce raw. Ends up hitting. Doesn't go with a super cancel. I think you can still get level 2 from that Jinrai.
Yeah.
But doesn't want to link it.
This is so scary. The fireballs are connecting, and the burnout is now on the other side. The anti-air comes in clutch. Fox Rain a little bit too impatient, and that was a nail biter. Ken able to make it happen. That was closer than close. Razor's edge right there. Let's see if we see an adjustment. Right back in it. We're at the airfield, baby.
All right, Emperor now 1 game away from getting the top 8. Fox Rain, yeah, I love that. You see Ken deal with that pressure a lot with the ODDP. Fireball with the approach behind it, just stuff her before she gets an attempt at offense.
Yep. No anti-air. Ah, missed the cross-cut. Timing was a little bit off there, so now Fox Rain going to be pushing straight to the corner. Emperor has a chance to escape, and the jump out comes again. Fox Rain overextending there. Got a charge, but you're also getting charged with a little bit extra damage. We can't afford it.
Yeah, those walkbacks into the fierce buttons, right? They're kind of all auto-timed by the person on offense, but right now, we can wake up with the super, not trying to get bullied in this corner here and close out this round.
Gotta watch out for the throw. Could have got a full confirm to kill there, but went for the safe fireball, and the slow but steady. That's the snail that approaches you. If you avoid it, you get $1 million, but if it touches you, you die.
Yeah, indeed, right. And the projectile priority system in this game is just nullified when Jury is on the screen because her fireballs just go under yours.
Oh, and the bait on the DP is huge. Goes ahead, we're going closer and closer to the corner. Walks under, and now it's time to party. Throw tech on the first attempt. I like that. Nah.
Oh, tried to press right after the perfect parry, but wasn't in range. Fox Rain actually got a whiff punish out of it and still gets the fireball out, right? He still has to deal with it despite getting his own OD out.
Yeah, and the hard part, too, is like you can't jump forward because Jury is going to be looking for the anti-air. You just have to hold it. No check.
Yeah, no check on that drive rush. This is big for Emperor.
Oh, and again goes for the overhead, not representing the low Jinrai at first. You have to put the layers in, or else your opponent is going to be able to react. Again, we've seen the jab punish counter come out so much. We need to see the starting from the low. You can jail into the medium Jinrai into the low if you're off of fierce, crouching medium punch. You can't do it off of low forward. And I mean, you have to be afraid of the DP, but we haven't been seeing that as a reaction from Fox Rain. So I need to see Emperor change it up a little bit on block.
And again, yeah, Fox Rain getting caught after getting hit by the Jinrai low. Yeah. Does escape with a dive kick now. Emperor tried to parry on the other end, but Fox Rain was just a little bit outside of range, and there's another DP after parry.
Yeah, that's such a good answer to the run. Even if you did run stop, I don't think you recover in time, but that jump in has been so dang potent. Emperor, even in burnout, is finding these opportunities.
Oh, wow.
That was so deep, dude.
Yeah, honestly, the second hit of the Tara combo might not have hit.
Yeah.
So I like him not even trying to follow it up. Fireball closes out that round. We are on set point.
Yeah, that was a cheap round to do, especially how fast Emperor burned out. Anti-air comes in, consistently using the light DP here. It's the safest option, recovers the fastest, and gets some pretty good Oki. Huge confirm here off the Jinrais. Optimal.
Indeed, very good stuff. Oh, just a light sequence right there. Going into the DP. Try to catch him throwing. Does recover.
Got to be so careful here as Fox Rain.
Yeah, trying to take his turn after the light sequence. Got clipped by a couple of stocks.
Oh, that was such a good punish. The crouching medium punch spells defeat. That was sick. That was so sick. So specific. Finds the pocket and sends Fox Rain out.
Crouch medium punch, I think, is a bit of an underutilized button by a lot of Kens. He's just got so many good things about him that a lot of the time you can get by without using it. But yeah, it's 6-frame startup. It has a great counter poke property, similar to Luke's in that way, right? 0 on block instead of +1. But the range is great. The hitbox is great. And it's one of those moves that can catch people trying to press buttons on you. And that's exactly what we saw there. Great stuff from Emperor to close it out.
Yeah, when you're mindful of all the tools you have at your disposal, you can really make a character shine even further than you typically see. And the crouch medium punch was really represented a lot from Emperor in this set, not only off of drive impacts, but in the mid-screen as well. And it was very back and forth. There was a lot of opportunities where Fox Rain was able to bait out Emperor, but it did not dissuade him in any way, shape, or form. Kept it collected, kept it clean, and there was like that was a huge drive impact opportunity from Fox Rain, but it just all came up Emperor and utilizing the fireball as a longer range poke, keeping the extra damage there, 30% off of almost every single conversion, and that was the tail of the tape at the end. That was so clean.
That was like a really clean whiff punish right there.
Oh yeah.
Ridiculous stuff from Emperor. So he is also qualified for top 8 now. Another Korean representative in the building, awaiting the winner of Korean Wrestling Man versus Sun Baby. One more Taiwan versus Korea battle to see who is our last person in top 8.
Yeah, and this is going to be a battle for the ages. Sun Baby able to make it over Serini in a 2-0, just really shutting down what Kimberly wanted to do. And now it's going to be Wrestling Man against Sun Baby, and I want to see what he presents. Obviously, we saw the Jury earlier. This is a matchup where I feel like Jury has a really good time. Again, the super fast dash, the drive rush being immense. Like, her low forward is just so dang good. The slow creeping fireball can deal with JP the same way that the charged whirlwind shot deals with the OD amnesia.
Well, it's true.
So I want to see exactly what Korean Wrestling Man is bringing to the table. Sun Baby showed us a amazing performance on the JP, so it's by no means going to be easy. Either of these players can take it to get that last top 8 spot. And God, to round out the top 8, these players are so strong. They've been impressive the entire way. So I'm just looking forward to the match.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, though. Like, having that ability to projectile meaty in the corner against JP, right, nullifies the OD amnesia, because obviously it cancels, or it doesn't cancel, but it counters strikes and throws, but not projectiles. So if you're able to set up shop like that, we'll see if Korean Wrestling Man can really make the most out of it. And you got to be smarter about where you use the OD amnesia as the JP player, right? You got to commit to it more on block strings. And again, her block strings can take fireballs too, so it's going to be tough for her.
Yeah, not a lot of chances to escape. And this is our last match of the night, the last match of Losers Round 2. One gets the top 8, and one's going to have to enter all the World Warriors. Let's see who can do it. Korean Wrestling Man versus Sun Baby.
Wow.
And Korean Wrestling Man is firing on all cylinders right now. He is the king of the ring. He's not the heel. He's the hero of this story. That was so much damage.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yo, again,
what
bro.
What the hell?
This man, Korean Wrestling Man, is letting him know a couple of minus frame situations. I'll just OD DP after.
He's like, I am the most electrifying player in all Korea. I will bring the heat. What do you think his signature move is?
Oh, I mean, the leg drop, bro. That's
jury. Absolutely true. The people's leg drop. Oh, wow, what a punish counter. Getting straight through the ghost. And the drive rush. Hers having so much distance is really what gives JP such a hard time. And that every read is right.
Yikes,
no,
bro.
not on stream. Not the double P.
Oh.
No.
That is a God of War who forgot how to lose right there. Korean Wrestling Man. Quick first game.
Yeah, that was. Oh no!
Okay,
it wasn't the real perfect. You know what? That feels
He
good.
got chipped. He got chipped.
Yeah, it wasn't
Hood
JP.
perfect.
It was PV. That's what we saw right there. 2 different letters he had to hold to his name. You know, it's like his surname.
Yeah, so fast though, Sun Baby. See if he can get his bearings. Nice punish counter after the dive kick, but again, still seeing not looking as comfortable as a lot of the JPs right now. I think after that first game, it's just tough to get your bearings back.
And I like this from Korean Wrestling Man. Something you don't see from a lot of players when they fight JP is he's resetting himself to full screen. And it like kind of stuns the JP. He's like, what are you doing? So I like that too. So now going back into that full screen after the gauge is a little bit back, but the burnout is here.
I'm surprised Korean Wrestling Man didn't let another ODDP rip.
Yeah.
After the first crouch medium kickoff drive rush, he was like, plus frames, DP. So, you know, either it's minus frames for him and he gets a DP, or plus frames for the opponent and he DPs.
Yep. Oh, nice overhead at the last possible second, but doesn't get the full conversion. Drive gauge is almost completely black, and Korean Wrestling Man can start the offensive now. It's on the ground, and we're getting a full extension. Sadly, it's still not there. And just playing that space, I really like this. Waiting for a ghost to come out, or even another.
No, he wasn't blocking his head on the parry recovery.
Yeah.
You got to hold block during the parry recovery, or you can't get punish counters.
Oh, no shot. That was such a good comeback from Korean Wrestling Man. It looked like it was all Sun Baby once the burnout was there, but just not able to really get anything started afterwards.
Oh, actually got the sweep out. That was a very funny looking trade.
Yeah. Again, the jump in. He's keeping that space to either deal with every single ghost with drive rush or a jump in. No anti-air this time.
Just parried on the other side here. Yeah, Wrestling Man getting in his face again, nullifying that space. Gonna hold on to the last bar drive meter, build it back up in the process of this level 3.
Yeah, like I said earlier, 1.5 bars back from that. You can set up with the charge here. Doesn't even need to. The shimmy to close it out. I think that actually is now the fastest set we've had in the night. That was a beatdown. Korean Wrestling Man, yeah, he was a God of War that would not be defeated. The unkillable Demon King, Korean Wrestling Man, takes down Sun Baby right there in... yeah, that's how you play the jury matchup against JP. that is the template that you can follow. If you just fill in the blanks, it's like ad-libs, but with jury, you just put it in and you make sure the job gets done. So Armper is going to be the opponent that Korean Wrestling Man fights tomorrow. And on the other side of losers, again, it is NL versus Oil King. What a losers round that we have had. Round 1 and round 2 definitely delivered for the entirety of top 16 losers. I want to once again shout out to all the players that were here and the players that were making it to top 8, because it was a battle the entire time. And it's not the last battle that we're actually going to be having this season, because remember, there's more CPTs to sign up for. Registration is currently open for the Capcom Pro Tour for all CPT regional events. The next one we have coming up is Central America East. Make sure you sign up by Monday at 8 a.m. That might be early for a lot of you gamers, but if we can do it, you can do it too. So make sure that you sign up, because you want to make sure that you're not on island time. You don't want to be late for this one. And we got the rest of the schedule coming up as well, because there are all the CPT events coming up, not only online, but we have the 2 CPT offlines. Where can they go for that, Ringe?
Indeed. So you can be going to CapcomProTour.com for more information. But as you see on your screen right now, October 20th through the 22nd, that will be the Singapore offline premiere, and then November 3rd through the 5th will be the France offline premiere. Again, that's open to anybody that's going to be able to travel out to those events. Both of the winners will be qualified into Capcom Cup 10. It's going to be a beautiful sight to behold. Both of these tournaments, offline action, the most preferred action possible, all for a chance at that first place milli on the line. But of course, we got online premieres coming up as well, right? It's not all just offline action. Central America East happening next weekend. Brazil as well, coming soon in September. And then on October 14th, that South Africa is going to pick up after a couple of week breaks here for the CPT Onlines.
Absolutely. And if you're not able to make it to the qualifiers there, if you come up short, maybe you get second place, maybe you fall out at top 16, the World Warrior program is also available to you. There are 26 regional champions that are going to be crowned for Capcom Cup 10. So make sure you enter each and every one of your World Warriors. Get in contact with whoever is in charge of your local that is running that, and make sure that you are competing, because the only one who can change your fate on the leaderboard is you, and anybody can make it happen. Whether you're young, whether you're old, whether this is your first Street Fighter or your maybe, I don't know, how many Street Fighters are there? Like, I mean, 38 maybe? Who knows?
Number technically 6, but then there's the Alpha games and all kinds of nonsense.
There's a lot of Street Fighters.
There's a whole lot.
And enter. Make sure you enter, because after this, we actually are entering another segment. I think we're going to get some nice snackage before we wrap up for the day. It's going to be pretty dang good, Ringe. I mean, it has been a blast commentating these matches. It has been lightning quick, and I've worked up an appetite just as well as a sweat. And we've gotten you all worked up, and you're going to have to wait just a moment, because we're going to break down how the entire day went. So please stay tuned. We'll see you in a moment.
You're really making all of this by hand.
Oh yeah, the avocados are hand mashed, the chips are hand tossed, and everything is made fresh.
You make it fresh every day?
Yes, every day. The Chipotle way is we make it fresh every day.
Sounds delicious.
Objection!
I present the Hunter from Komura.
This
And welcome back. We discussed that you were going to do the chip after I introed, bro. You just immediately did the chip. It's obviously the Chipotle Unwrapped section, and we are blessed to be in the presence of chips and queso. So blessed that Jake Ryan could not hold himself back despite our planned intro in the first place.
I'm an animal. I'm sorry. I eat chips. All I do is eat queso chip and lie and DP on Wake Up. That's all I'm saying. We saw a lot of Wake Up DPs. Sorry, it's delicious.
I was literally like, he was like, all right, so you're chipping and then I'm intro. I was like, no, we just talked about I'm intro and then you're chipping, but do it after it doesn't matter.
All right.
So the chips take priority over everything else. The Chipotle is the most important thing.
I'm gonna say my next statement. I need you to chip up.
Okay.
For the fight of your life right now, because we just saw an amazing. These are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. We just saw an amazing display of skill. Dude, the crunch is incredible. And I want to look at the bracket because if you guys are just joining us now, we gotta unwrap this whole story right here. We saw some shutouts right in the beginning of the match, and then we saw some really close matches. I think the highly contested one was Uma versus NL. But we're talking at the top of the day. Lashar versus Korean Wrestling Man made Wrestling Man look lost in the matchup versus Chun, and then we saw Wrestling Man later, but Hot Dog, once again, on the DJ, able to take down Armperer in such a commanding show. It was really, really strong. Luke wasn't really able to get much done, and we get to see Hot Dog tomorrow. The water was hot. Chris Wong on the other side taking down Yoro in a pretty convincing fashion. Rashid and Cammy weren't able to do it, and as I said, Uma going down one game in the beginning against NL, but Uma cleaning it up in the next two, really showing up as a different player. Like he said, this was his turning point, and he made that point matter the most.
That's cool. So, yeah, in our top 8, the region's represented, right? We got 4 Koreans, 2 from Hong Kong, and 2 from Taiwan. So, nice little variety here in our top 8 for sure. And as you mentioned, yeah, it's cool to have some of the familiar faces like NL and Oil King, right? I talked about if you kind of have legacy knowledge of this region but haven't been paying too close attention to Street Fighter 6 for Asia East, you would imagine NL and Oil King were in had to be Grand Finals favorite, right? And they're going to be the ones meeting in the first round of Losers Bracket top 8 tomorrow. And the other end, Lashar, who won the very first Korean World Warrior event, is in Winners Bracket. Hot Dog 29 in Winners Bracket. You heard on one of the videos. By the way, shout out to the videos with Rob and Brian, especially talking to the tournament organizers of the various scenes, right? I really like the fact that they've gotten those people involved as well and kind of gotten their stories told on Capcom Fighters. But Brian alluded to Chris Wong being one of the strongest players in the region. He's in Winners Bracket, and I said the ICFC Asia champion, Uma, coming through, showing out again, taking down, I believe, what in many minds was the favorite in NL and Winners Bracket to make it into that top 8 as well.
Yeah, definitely impressed me with his play in Winners side, and I'm really looking forward to him playing tomorrow. And we got to look at the loser side of the bracket, too, because we were talking about it for a second, but the loser side is what we wouldn't expect. Again, you said that looks like Grand Finals, but it sure looks like first match of top 8 losers to me this year. NL versus Oil King, and they both looked amazing in their loser side match, even though
That's true.
Like, Oil King started in losers today, and he's been on a tear. 2-0, 2-0. He's like, I'm not losing any more games. Ken's on the screen, going to make it happen. NL on the other side gets a 2-0 over Yugong, who looked really strong. The young gun, not able to make it happen. So that one is going to be a barn burner. And on the other side, we have Armperer versus Korean Wrestling Man. Armperer getting pushed to the brink from Fox Rain, but able to close it out again with the Ken and changing it up. And then Korean Wrestling Man just absolutely dismantling Sun Baby with the jury. It has been a journey that we have had today, and the bracket has been a treat. So I'm just looking forward to tomorrow, man. If you had to take a shot at it right now, looking at the whole scope, and I think I already know your answer, but I want to ask anyways, who do you think is the first person? And there's our top 8 bracket. Beautiful stuff. Shout outs to production. They are unwrapping the whole story for us. If you had to pick, who's your number 1 and who's your dark horse? What are you thinking?
Okay, so I got brain and heart answers. You want them both or you just want one of them?
Brain and heart is perfect.
Okay, so my brain answer is Lashar. I actually think Lashar has looked so strong on the Chun-Li. I think Chun-Li is a very stable character for these 2 out of 3, 3 out of 5 environments. The way he was composed, it just feels like a lot of people are going to have to overexert themselves to really deal with his type of just solid Chun-Li play. And then, I mean, for my heart, it's Uma all day, every day, right? Like I mentioned, I've been commentating ICFC Asia all season. He won more than he lost in those tournaments. He won the entire season for the finals.
Yeah.
So, and he just always seems to bring something new every time I watch him. So, my most impressive player player is Uma, and he's the one that I think, in my heart, I want to win the most. But Chris Wong is wild too, man. He's so solid. If he can get a couple of right reads on Uma, Uma will be willing to take these big risks, unfortunately pay the price for them. It could definitely go Chris Wong's way.
Yeah. I love that answer. Thank you so much. And bringing up the resumes, I think, is really important. Like the whole cover letter that we have right there, it just paints a picture, and the consistent performance will be rewarded. If I had to choose my brain pick, I really think it is going to be Uma, just because of the mentality. He thinks it's a turning point in his life, and like being able to capitalize that and being so aware of it too is unmatched. Like that mindfulness is really what you can tap into. And if tomorrow's the day, I really think that's such a turning point. That's something that changes your life forever.
I'm telling you, the fact that he like was willing to verbalize that, right?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people will know in their heart of hearts a moment like that is coming for them, but to speak it into existence, it brings a different weight. It brings a different gravity to it, right? It's like, man, this is really reality now. It's not just something I'm in my own head about. So the fact that he was willing to lay that on the line against NL, that was his quote up against NL, the favorite of the region as well. So, I mean, yeah, man, you know, when you take that into account, I could definitely see riding Uma all the way to victory for sure. But again, Hot Dog 29, another phenomenal player out of the region. He's our other one in that top side of winners. And, I mean, you can't count out any of these players. NL, Oil King, Emperor, Korean Wrestling, man. It's the any given Sunday aspect of fighting games. Any of them could have their best day and take the whole thing and be qualified for that Capcom Cup 10.
Absolutely. And if I had to share my heart pick, it's actually Oil King.
That would be sick.
Oil King is my heart pick because how I saw him play today, that is a tournament-winning gameplay strategy. Everything was controlled. Every decision worked out in his favor, and not because the other player was playing poorly, just because he was on that next level. So my heart pick is Oil King. It would be the loser's run of a century. Like that is such a deep loser's run to do. That's my heart pick. Again, those are the two that I believe in. You know, the story is going to unfold tomorrow, and it has been an amazing day so far. I've almost demolished all of my chips, just like our winners have demolished the opposition. But we've got no more matches to demolish. You got anything you want to say to the people before we go to bed, Rinch?
I mean, you know how it goes, man. We'll be back tomorrow right here, twitch.tv/CapcomFighters. Until then, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we'll see you soon.